We are happy that you are here today. I am Tamara, and this is Ryan.
We would like to take a moment to welcome you to today's sessions and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start every hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of your personal needs. During the live event, you have 2 sessions to choose from for each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you will do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit if you are watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting, you should receive a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to make sure your email address is typed correctly.
We, along with our whole EdTech team, thank you again for being here today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
Did you know in Edge, you can open up files or tabs from another device? Simply click on the 3 dots, select History, and you can see the recently closed, and you can also see that you have tabs from other devices. Select that one. I have 3 devices to choose from. I'm going to select my laptop. And on my laptop, you can see all the tabs that I have open. And I'm going to look for the game that I want to share with my students on my panel and select it. So now I've created a file on one device and opened it on the other.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon. In my classroom, I have a laptop and a panel with a computer on board. That is so awesome. When I want to share a file from my laptop to my computer on my panel, all I have to do in the address bar is select this little share icon. Then I'm going to send it to my panel, which is another device. Select that device, and you can see up here that it's sending. Now on my other device, I'm going to open in a new tab. So I select open in a new tab. And you can see that my file is now loaded onto my other computer or my other device.
My favorite thing about EdTech Live is PD in your PJs. I have a master's degree in educational technology, but I still attend every session. I really enjoy it and I love the presenters.
Hi, did you know that you can change the language in Schoology? It's as simple as this. Go to Schoology, scroll all the way down until you get to language. Right now it's in English. When you click on English, you can see the different languages that you can choose. This is a great way to translate the information in Schoology.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here today. I am Tamara, and this is Ryan.
We would like to take a moment to welcome you to today's sessions and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start every hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of your personal needs. During the live event, you have 2 sessions to choose from for each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you will do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit if you are watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting, you should receive a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to make sure your email address is typed correctly.
We, along with our whole EdTech team, thank you again for being here today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
Did you know in Edge, you can open up files or tabs from another device? Simply click on the three dots, select History, and you can see the recently closed, and you can also see that you have tabs from other devices. Select that one. I have 3 devices to choose from. I'm going to select my laptop. And on my laptop, you can see all the tabs that I have open. And I'm going to look for the game that I want to share with my students on my panel and select it. So now I've created a file on one device and opened it on the other.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon. In my classroom, I have a laptop and a panel with a computer on board. That is so awesome. When I want to share a file from my laptop to my computer on my panel, all I have to do in the address bar is select this little share icon. Then I'm going to send it to my panel, which is another device. Select that device, and you can see up here that it's sending. Now on my other device, I'm going to open in a new tab. So I select open in a new tab. And you can see that my file is now loaded onto my other computer or my other device.
My favorite thing about EdTech Live is PD in your PJs. I have a master's degree in educational technology, but I still attend every session. I really enjoy it and I love the presenters.
Hi, did you know that you can change the language in Schoology? It's as simple as this. Go to Schoology, scroll all the way down until you get to language. Right now it's in English. When you click on English, you can see the different languages that you can choose. This is a great way to translate the information in Schoology.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here today. I am Tamara, and this is Ryan.
We would like to take a moment to welcome you to today's sessions and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start every hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of your personal needs. During the live event, you have 2 sessions to choose from for each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you will do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit if you are watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting, you should receive a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to make sure your email address is typed correctly.
We, along with our whole EdTech team, thank you again for being here today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
know in Edge, you can open up files or tabs from another device? Simply click on the three dots, select History, and you can see the recently closed, and you can also see that you have tabs from other devices. Select that one. I have 3 devices to choose from. I'm going to select my laptop. And on my laptop, you can see all the tabs that I have open. And I'm going to look for the game that I want to share with my students on my panel and select it. So now I've created a file on one device and opened it on the other.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon. In my classroom, I have a laptop and a panel with a computer on board. That is so awesome. When I want to share a file from my laptop to my computer on my panel, all I have to do in the address bar is select this little share icon. Then I'm going to send it to my panel, which is another device. Select that device, and you can see up here that it's sending. Now on my other device, I'm going to open in a new tab. So I select open in a new tab. And you can see that my file is now loaded onto my other computer or my other device.
My favorite thing about EdTech Live is PD in your PJs. I have a master's degree in educational technology, but I still attend every session. I really enjoy it and I love the presenters.
Hi, did you know that you can change the language in Schoology? It's as simple as this. Go to Schoology, scroll all the way down until you get to language. Right now it's in English. When you click on English, you can see the different languages that you can choose. This is a great way to translate the information in Schoology.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here today. I am Tamara, and this is Ryan.
We would like to take a moment to welcome you to today's sessions and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start every hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of your personal needs. During the live event, you have 2 sessions to choose from for each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you will do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit if you are watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting, you should receive a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to make sure your email address is typed correctly.
We, along with our whole EdTech team, thank you again for being here today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
Did you know in Edge, you can open up files or tabs from another device? Simply click on the 3 dots, select History, and you can see the recently closed, and you can also see that you have tabs from other devices. Select that one. I have 3 devices to choose from. I'm going to select my laptop. And on my laptop, you can see all the tabs that I have open. And I'm going to look for the game that I want to share with my students on my panel and select it. So now I've created a file on one device and opened it on the other.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon. In my classroom, I have a laptop and a panel with a computer on board. That is so awesome. When I want to share a file from my laptop to my computer on my panel, all I have to do in the address bar is select this little share icon. Then I'm going to send it to my panel, which is another device. Select that device, and you can see up here that it's sending. Now on my other device, I'm going to open in a new tab. So I select open in a new tab. And you can see that my file is now loaded onto my other computer or my other device.
My favorite thing about EdTech Live is PD in your PJs. I have a master's degree in educational technology, but I still attend every session. I really enjoy it and I love the presenters.
Hi, did you know that you can change the language in Schoology? It's as simple as this. Go to Schoology, scroll all the way down until you get to language. Right now it's in English. When you click on English, you can see the different languages that you can choose. This is a great way to translate the information in Schoology.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here today. I am Tamara, and this is Ryan.
We would like to take a moment to welcome you to today's sessions and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start every hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of your personal needs. During the live event, you have 2 sessions to choose from for each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you will do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit if you are watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting, you should receive a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to make sure your email address is typed correctly.
We, along with our whole EdTech team, thank you again for being here today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
Did you know in Edge, you can open up files or tabs from another device? Simply click on the three dots, select History, and you can see the recently closed, and you can also see that you have tabs from other devices. Select that one. I have 3 devices to choose from. I'm going to select my laptop. And on my laptop, you can see all the tabs that I have open. And I'm going to look for the game that I want to share with my students on my panel and select it. So now I've created a file on one device and opened it on the other.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon. In my classroom, I have a laptop and a panel with a computer on board. That is so awesome. When I want to share a file from my laptop to my
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first session. We are going to be talking about Adobe Express. Just because I'm sure you guys are seeing, we've got lots of people on our screen. I'm going to go ahead and share here. There is a little bit of a technical difficulty, I think, going on over at SciFair. So they are working to get that done. So Amy may be jumping on with me in just a few moments. But until then, I am going to talk to you and get everything going. So I can see the comments over here. Yes, you guys are in the correct place. We are going to get started. All right. Okay, so welcome to the Joy of Creativity, getting started with Adobe Express. We are going to be talking about some graphic templates this morning, and I'm so excited to have you here bright and early on a Saturday morning to learn something new, fun, and something you can take back to your classroom starting Monday, which is always my favorite thing when it comes to PD, is knowing that I'm going to be able to use it starting immediately. So Amy's going to be joining us hopefully in just a little while, but if not, just know that she had a huge hand in making this session happen. So if you guys see her on one of your campuses, make sure that you say hello to her. And if you learned something really great about Adobe Express today, make sure you let her know. And also, just if you need a resource there at SciFair, she is awesome when it comes to Adobe Express. So you guys make sure to give her a shout out when you see her as well. And I have a feeling that she'll be popping on probably before the session's over. My name is Brooke Lowry, and I'm one of the lead learning guides at Tech. So I may be familiar to some of you. I've done lots of the sessions at the DLC, which we love every summer, and been on campuses there in SciFair. I am Houston based, so I'm not too far away from you guys. But today we are going to be talking about Adobe Express, which is by far one of my favorite EdTech tools right now. I wish I had had it for the last 20 years. So I know you guys are going to love it, and we are going to learn more and more about it as we go. Okay, so what is Adobe Express? What are you guys here for today? What is it that we're going to be learning? Well, Adobe Express is a really great design tool that not only does it make graphics, but it makes videos and web pages. You can animate from audio. Well, you can also make an animation with your audio if you turn that sentence around. But there are so many other really cool stuff you can do. Some quick actions I'm going to show you, but today we're really going to focus on just the graphic piece. But don't worry if you're like, oh my goodness, I need to know this and this and this, because there could be more PD coming from your district very soon about all the other pieces of Adobe Express. But also you can always get in there and play or let your students play, because they will see that it's just so easy to use. So we are going to today focus on graphics. And when we think about graphics, we think about poster making. And right now, we don't have all the space to hang everybody's poster boards, or so you can make digital poster boards, science fair posters, infographics, visual reports, social media posts, even if you're not going to put them on social media, advertisement, magazine covers, lots of those sort of things. And then again, the web pages are very simple to make, and then videos. I wish I had like 3 hours with you. I would show you all of it, including the videos, but we only have this short time together. So we are going to jump in and start talking about making thinking visible. So we talk a lot in schools about math, showing your work, show your work, show your work. I bet some of you could even tell me, yes, you've heard that before in math, that we've talked about, make sure you show your work so we can see what you're thinking. But are we missing that in some of our other areas? Are we missing the ability to say, hey, what were you thinking when you did this? And I was a history teacher, so there was lots of times I was asking my students to make sure that they were showing what they were thinking, or it's like, hey, you did this poster and it's really great, but like, what did you really learn about Abraham Lincoln? Or how does that relate to this? So let's make thinking visible all the time, not just in math, but everywhere. And we can do that by using graphics, infographics, posters, and just all of the works. Okay, I still see I don't have any questions coming through yet, so I'm gonna keep moving because the longer we have to demo, the better. Okay, so Vanderbilt University, a center for teaching, shares that our brains are wired to rapidly make sense of and remember visual input. So I'm just curious, and you guys can put this in the chat so I can look at it in just a few seconds. In the chat, tell me if there is a commercial that you can think of, something that has stuck in your head visually your whole life. Maybe it's a commercial, a slogan, a saying. You can see it. When you hear it, you can see it. Like it just paints this very vivid image. Tell me what it is in the chat. Because it is true that our brains are wired to rapidly make sense of and remember visual input. So visualizations in the form of diagrams, charts, drawings, pictures, and we know that this is true and this is how we do it because how often do we use Venn diagrams? We've got them laminated in our classrooms, we've got them on walls, we've got diagrams, we storyboard with web charts, we draw arrows when we're taking notes, even by hand. Even when we're taking notes by hand, we'll like, if we have 3 or 4 markers on us, we'll highlight certain things in certain colors. So it has been ingrained in us. It's just natural for us to pick out those colors, those styles, and to make that happen. A well-designed visual image can yield much more powerful and memorable of a learning experience than just a mere verbal or textual description. And I know that that's true because I can see things that I learned with pictures a lot easier than I can with words. So I know that there's a delay between the live stream and me talking. So this is going to feel a little awkward that I'm coming back to this 25 seconds later, but you guys are putting so many great things in the chat about your connections that you've made with State Farm, the original Jake from State Farm. Yeah. We want you. Yeah. Everybody thinks of like Rosie the Riveter too, right? We all see her image in our head. Mine is the Mervyn's commercial where the lady was outside the window going open, open, waiting for the sales days to start. I think I've used that open, open my whole life. So yeah, the cleanup crew after your home is flooded. So see, you guys just proved my point that there are visual things that stick in our head for a long time. And it's like, it's just living in there rent free. Well, we want our students to remember their learning the same way with those same visuals and those same techniques. So how are we going to do that? Well, those are those graphics I was telling you about. So here's some examples of some graphics that have been made. If you'll notice in the first column, there is a certain theme that's happening here. So I'm curious, put it in the chat. What story do you think that they were reading when they made those graphics? So I'm talking about the ones on the left-hand side. The first 3 cluster that you see, tell me in the chat, what story do you think that they were reading about? In the middle, we have an infographic about the marine food chain. I am telling you, I have learned about sea life. I'm one of the kids that I feel had the honor, the privilege of going through Voyage of the Mimi. That's maybe something you guys don't know about. I grew up in a different state and we did Voyage of the Mimi and we learned a lot about marine life. It was one of the very first project-based learning activities I ever went through. And this kind of infographic would have been something that would have just been in a textbook or just in a magazine. And I would have looked at it. And I agree, looking at it is important and understanding. But as a student, if I could make that middle column, if I could have made that infographic, that would mean so much more to me when we talk about food chains. We've been doing this. We have our kids cut out the pictures and glue them on a piece of paper. but what if they could just make the infographic all by themselves this way? And then over here on the far right-hand side, I've got the Women Leading Change. This is a magazine cover. So giving our students an opportunity to put their information instead of on a Google slide or a PowerPoint with 3 bullet points. How about we let them make a graphic and they can put those 3 bullet points, we can put those bullet points just right here immediately on this image that you see. So having them create a magazine cover is amazing, quick, easy, and I'm going to show you where all those templates are. And you guys, you are 100% correct. 100% correct. 3 Little Pigs. So this is taking a spin on the 3 Little Pigs. So they read the 3 Little Pigs, and then they were asked to come up with an alternative book title for that story and a book cover. So this is the students' book covers. I Am Wolf, How a Huff and a Puff Ruined a Community. Pigs Without Permits, Wolf Protects Community from Unlawful Construction. Pigs, 2 out of 3 homeless, wolf out of breath, from home to rubbish pile in one breath. I love it. I love the creativity there, but you guys were still able to infer from that activity what story that they read. So again, instead of having them maybe answer questions about the 3 Little Pigs, how do you know that they read the story? How do you know that they got it? We told them that they had to make a book cover about the story, but they weren't allowed to call it the 3 Little Pigs. So you could do that with any book. And if, as a teacher, you've read the book, you would know very quickly from that new book cover, what did they take? What was the main idea that they took out of that? So I'm just curious to know, are you guys excited to learn this? Are you feeling already inspired? You're hoping that you're going to be able to utilize this resource already? Just curious what your feelings are as we get started. All right. So how do you log in and how do you get to Adobe Express? To log in, you're going to sign in at my.cfisd.net. You're going to put in your username and password. And then where you have the search bar at the top, you're going to search for Adobe Express, and then you'll see the little creative cloud icon. It's like this little circle inside of circle, the loop, infinite loop, and you're going to click on Adobe Express. And then you're going to click the purple button, go to Adobe Express, and then it's going to take you over to the landing page, which is a web-based app for Adobe Express. Now, I will say that you have to have, there is an iOS app for Adobe Express, but Adobe Express just went through a huge update. So if you happen to look at it last year, and this is the first time you're logging in this year, you're going to be like, this looks different. There are so many more options now. More things are coming every day. It just launched the beginning of August, the new update. The iOS version of the app is still the old based, but very soon, very, very soon, we should be seeing that update come to the iOS app. But you're going to see on the desktop, on the web-based version, you're going to see the brand new version, and that's what we're going to be working in today. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat or anything anywhere, so I think we're doing good, and we will just keep moving along. I love the reaction hearts. I appreciate that, you guys. That's letting me know that there are still people over there on the other side listening, so appreciate that. Thanks for joining in the chat as well. Okay, so when you get over to Adobe Express, when you get over here to Adobe Express, this is what your main page is going to look like. So when you see it pop up here, you're going to have all of your options at the top, and then you're going to have these options over here on your left-hand side. So up here at the top, you have your poster, your video, your web page, presentation, drawing, infographic, flyer. But the first thing I'm going to talk about just really, really fast, because I cannot even jump into graphics until I show you this, Here are some suggested quick actions. So if you are anything like me, I had like 15 probably bookmarks booked with websites that did certain things for free, like remove backgrounds, change picture size and quality. I had like a free PDF annotation tool, all kinds of stuff. But in Adobe Express, you can almost get rid of all those bookmarks because everything you need is just right here. So you've got animate from audio, remove the background, generate a QR code. This is the new one that is just, I mean, teachers everywhere are so excited to see this. It's called, it's edit text and images in a PDF. So I could just quickly drag a PDF into this right here. I can just drag a PDF into this right here, and then I can edit. I can edit the words, I can fill it in, I can resize images, I can resize things that are on the page. So if you're looking to edit a PDF, jump into Adobe Express, quick actions, and click edit PDF. But you're gonna see some other things here: resize image, crop images, convert to a GIF, lots of different things. There's even more. If you click on the purple plus sign up here and go to quick actions, here's even more. And a brand new one that just launched this week is caption video. So to caption a video, you can literally drag and drop a video into its place here. And I know I have one, and I will do it very fast to show you, just because it's just the brand new thing to hit. So you just upload your video into the space. It's uploading your media. This is like a 1-minute video, so it's not going to take very long. And it's bringing in those captions. And you can see it's analyzing my video, and it's going to burn the captions. It's going to pull the caption from the text or from who's speaking, because as you know, like that's part, especially if you're like YouTube and you want those captions, you're going to have to wait for it to upload, wait for it to go there, and then it will put those captions in here. Okay, it's taking a little longer than I wanted it to right now at this minute, but now I feel committed to showing you this final product. So we're going to let it go for that 50%. In just a second, we're going to be creating a graphic from a template. And so you can start from scratch and put your own images, bring in your own icons, but also it's so easy to start with one of the thousands of templates that's already been created. And Adobe is already filtered for education. So even though you get full reign of all the pictures that are available, all the videos, you don't have to worry about it because it's already filtered for education. So anything the students are getting into are labeled as education. Okay, here it is. All right, I'm going to put, let's just do this basic one here. All right, when I click play.
Would you like to learn how to activate
See
the
how it's putting
magnifying tool in
putting it right
Windows
there.
11? To use the
Anyway, caption. So cool. Puts the little captions on there. You can change how they look in just a split second. You can download. Look at this one.
bar for Windows 11.
So cool. Anyway, you can download it or open it in editor. I just had to show it because it just launched like 2 days ago. So I knew probably some of you hadn't seen it. So just wanted that to show you that's there. Okay, let's get started with our graphic. So I could go right here and click from create from scratch on the poster here, click from scratch, or I could browse the templates. I could do that on any of these, but for today, I'm going to start up here where it says search everything and all, and I'm going to type about me. So if you're doing this with me right now, in your search bar, type about me. If I type all about me, I'm only going to get like, I think it's like maybe 15 examples, but for some reason, if I put about me in it, I get a lot more templates. So the first thing you're going to see, I have 412 results that pop up for the about me. I've got one of my own personal files, 404 templates, 6 photos, and 1 video. Those are the options I have to add to when I'm searching all of Adobe. It's right here for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click where it says template. So here's all my templates. I'm going to click over here on the right where it says view all. So click where it says view all. And now I'm going to see all these different templates that say about me. This is a great first start of the year activity. Get to know your students a little bit more. Your students get to know you. Quick, fun intro activity. Let's see, which one do we want to use? I'm going to scroll around here and take a look. I do love this one. I've used this one several times, the All About Me, really easy. I think I'm going to click on this one though. So I just use the All About Me. It looks like this if you're in your list. If you're just watching right now and you're going to do this later, that's great too. I know sometimes it's hard to go back and forth. I do have one question that says, is this available on cell phones too? It is it's a web-based tool. So you can go to express.adobe.com and sign in on any browser, including one on your phone. There is an app and you can use the app. You can use it on Android and iOS. However, that one is not up to date yet with this newest version that you're going to see. But very soon they're going to be fixing that, and you'll be seeing it there. Okay. Okay. So now I'm in my template here, my All About Me. Hopefully you're able to find it. I didn't see any questions about being able to log in, so everybody should be doing pretty good. Thanks for those of you who are letting me know what's happening. Okay, so All About Me, this template, it's already pretty cool. I like the way it looks. I like the design that's here. I didn't have to give a whole lot of thought about what I was going to have my students do. But when I give this to my students or I ask them to do it, they're immediately going to want to make it more their own. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn the tools by editing this template. So let's start with these fonts down here at the bottom. So this is a speech bubble. And you'll see I have 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 speech bubbles. And then inside of them, I have text. If you guys will see, as I'm clicking, you will see that things are changing. So let me show you. I'm going to click on the speech bubble. And over here on the left, I got a different menu than when I click on my text bubble. When I click on my text bubble, everything I'm able to edit changes. So when I click here, it says, my name is Daryl Anthony Bancroft. I'm 9 years old. That's clearly not my word. So I'm just going to double click in here and I kind of delete this. And I'm going to say, my name is Brooke Lowry. And I am a lead learning guide at Fried Tech. All right. So you can see my font kind of went off. So I'm just going to make my text a little bit. My box just went. I'm going to pick it up and move it over a little. There we go. Actually don't like that I is there. So there, see, nice and easy. Now, maybe I don't like this text, and that's fine. I can look through this list. If I click this down button, look at all of the different text that I could use. I've got my recent. I've got some that are saved in my library. I've got some uploaded fonts, and then here's all these other fonts I could use. But I will tell you one thing that makes it easier instead of scrolling through all that is to look at these recommended options. So I can click view all and look at my recommended, because then I can kind of see it with my words, which helps me see exactly what that font's going to look like. So I'm going to change it. I kind of like that one. I'm going to try really hard not to be picky on these fonts because, guys, I'm telling you, I will get stuck in this font land for forever. So, okay, see, I even said it out loud, hoping I would keep myself to it. Okay, I'm just going to go with this one. All right, I like it. So let's see what that font is called. This one is called, oh gosh, of course it's going to be something I can't say. Rajdhani. I'm going to go with that. I know that I did not say it correctly. Okay, it's also a weird color right now. It's like a greenish color, but I'm going to leave that alone for now because I'm going to change some of my other color schemes. All right, so I'm going to change this one really quick. Oh, see, I moved that around. No big deal. I could go ahead and change my font, even though I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. I guess I could stay with what I was already using. So see, in use on my side, so easy to change these. Just highlight already what's being used in use. There we go. Okay, so now I want to change this one up here at the top. All About Me. Let's see which one I want to use here. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I like that. It's a little more square. Perfect. Love this. All right. Now I want to start working on maybe changing my colors. Now, here's something that, well, I got a little error message there. Okay. There's a few things going on here that I may want to change or look at as I go through this. So you'll see if I click on the speech bubble, do you guys see what's happening over here on the right-hand side? These are my layers, and the layers make this even more amazing of a tool because I can move my layers around, or when I click on something, it lets me know what layer I'm looking at. If I want to close this, I can simply just click the X. And when I'm ready to get it back, I just click right up here at the top to get my layers back. Very easy to use. So I'm going to start working with my layers. I'm going to change some colors up. So I can see when I click on this background, it almost looks like that. Oh my goodness, why can I not think of what that type of paper is called? Is it parchment? Watermarked, you know, when you see it and it looks crinkled, that crinkly look. Some of y'all are screaming at me in the chat right now what that's called. Well, I can't think about it this morning. But that little design, so I can see when I move that around, it's kind of like a layer all on its own. So I'm going to move it so I can really just click on the background itself, which is up here at the top where it says background color. I'm going to change that background color. What color do I want it to be? Let's see if I click on more colors. Here's some. I really do like the color pink. So maybe I'll click on pink. Ooh, see, that already just sparked some joy. Okay, so see what happened? See how that was orange a second ago. This little layer that I'm moving around right now was orange a second ago, but the moment I changed this background color, I'm going to do it one more time so you can see. When I change that background color, if I put it back to orange, see how that layer moving around is orange? Now, if I go back to that pink color that I had a second ago, go back down here to more colors and we'll grab it again. It changed that color too. And that's because of a special effect that's on that layer. And I'm going to show that to you right now. So that layer, when I'm clicking on it, because I'm moving it around so it's selected, right here, it is blending. This is where the fancy graphics come from. It is currently blending. If you click this little down arrow right here, if I clicked on normal, no effect applied, this is see how now it's like really whitewashed that. It's really very, very bold. See the difference? But if I say, I like that, but I wish it would blend a little bit more, I can just simply click it, make it blend, and then there we go. So fun to use. Now I could change the effects on this. Right now there's none on there, but look, if I clicked this, it's going to make everything even a different color. It's just changing everything as I add these effects to it. I'm going to leave it on none because I'm happy with what we have there. Okay. All right. So let's start changing some of these colors now to match my pink I've got going on. So here's my little bricks, giving me a little brick effect. Click on fill. Now, none of these colors right now, none of these colors match this pink. I don't like any of them. So what I'm going to do is right up here next to the fill, there is this color dropper. Y'all see this little eyedropper? If I click on that, I can pull it over here and it's going to grab this color pink. It's going to put them in put it in there. So now those bricks are the same color, but now it's giving me some recommended colors to maybe work with, maybe some that are going to look a little different. None of those really suit my soul on this either. So it's okay. I can go down here to more colors and look. Maybe I would like a light pink. I like the light pink. If I want to click on custom and change that color just a little bit more, kind of drag this around, I can do that. So I actually enjoyed that. I kind of like this color. I'm feeling it. All right. So now I have just clicked on, what I did is I clicked on custom right here to the right of swatches, clicked on custom and dragged that little dot around. Now, this color has a code. And it's right here. Here's my hex code. I'm actually going to copy that code just so I don't have to come back to it in case I need to keep it. Now it's on my clipboard. So just copied that code. And now over here on these bricks, I'm going to go to fill. So I don't see an in use here. I do think that that is coming. It used to be in the old version. So I do think that that is going to come very soon. So that's why I also picked to copy that color, because now I can just go into my custom here I'm going to paste that color down here at the bottom that I had saved on my clipboard. I'm going to copy it again just in case I need it again. So there it is. It's on my clipboard, easy to find. And then now this one is the same color as this one over here. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, so I think we're still doing good. I'm just going to keep moving until I see those questions pop up. Amy jumped in. They've had an eventful morning over there at the Sci-Fair building. So she's back. She's back with us. Okay.
Exciting times.
Do what?
Exciting times.
Exciting times. I've been watching the chat and I was like, they're having some fun times over there in that building. That's what always happens when you're live. So now on our picture frames here, I want to do the same thing. So notice, I kind of always deconstruct my templates a little bit so I can see what I'm working with. So I can tell that I've got this one that's a layer, and then this piece is its own. So if I click on it, where is it located? There it is. Here's the black line around this one. So that must mean that that's a layer, this is a layer, and then where, okay, so if you'll notice, what am I doing right now? I'm moving that weird layer that I don't want to move around, but I want to change, you want to change that orange that's back there in the back. So that's when these layers come in really handy. So here's those orange layers back here in the back. I'm going to grab this one and I'll start changing the look of that one. So I'm going to go to fill. Do I want to do it white? I like the white. The white doesn't bother me. Now, you'll see that that little layer, this one that I've been moving around, is on that white box. If I don't want that one on that box, all I simply have to do is go grab that layer over here on the side. So let me find it. I've got it working. Here we go. It's right here. I'm going to move it behind. I'm just dragging it to move it behind all of my boxes, which it is now. So now I'll be able to get to those a lot easier. So I'm going to move this one back over. I'm going to change the color on this one. I'm going to go to my more colors. Let's do that light pink. It's looking good. All right. This little icon, I'm going to change that one. So I'm actually going to delete it because I'm going to put something different in there. I'm going to take my template here. I'm going to use that same pink color. So I still had that one on my clipboard. Oh yeah, that works. We're getting nice and pink over here. Okay, so I've got my sections going here. Now I can very easily just do these the same way. I'm going to go over here and change my color. There it is. So I'm just going to move that out of the way so I can get to this one. Change that one really fast. Again, once that in this, like how the font was, where it was like in use here, once that comes, it's going to make things later. Can you copy and paste? Sure, absolutely. You can make it that easy too. So you could copy and paste these, group them together, copy and paste them, make it really nice and easy. But the more I do this, the more you'll see that it is so easy just to recreate it at the same time. Okay. All right. I'm going to make that one white. Now, can I give this to my students where maybe I've already changed things? I found a theme that was talking about dogs, and I don't want to talk about dogs. I want them to talk about something else. Sure. You can send this off to your students and let them make copies of it. Amy is going to be showing us in just a few minutes how you can have them submit this through Schoology. So you guys hold on to that question and we'll be there for that too. All right. Okay, so here's my text. Now there's something I want to make note of here about our text. There are a few options and I'm so excited because just yesterday, these 3 came back and I'm very happy about them. I don't know why we all love a good arch text, but man, there is just something great about arch text. So there's default, which you'll notice I have capital letters, lowercase, they're in a regular line. But if I click on dynamic, it will choose which ones are bigger for me. I can kind of put these in a fun shape. So I can do this. If you hate it, just click back on default. I'm going to keep it on dynamic. And I'm actually going to go in and change this to that. Do I want it to be pink? Let's see. Let's see if I want it to be pink. Yep, I'm going to leave it pink. Okay. So there's my pink on that. Now, if I want to add an image in this box now, I will just click over here on, I can go to media and see photos. I can put any of these photos on here. I can even click on elements, and elements is where you're going to find those icons. That's what they were using with that boy and the family a few minutes ago. Those were in icons. So I'm actually going to, let's see. I'm actually going to start with media over here. I'm going to do music. I'm going to do music headphones. Let's see if what will pop up when I do that. Because if I talked about things that I really love, like I love music. Yeah, these are fun. I'm trying to find one. If I find one, so let's go with this one. Go with this image. And you guys are going to be like, oh, Brooke should have done her pictures first because now that picture is not going to match. Well, to be honest with you, really all I want is those headphones. So I'm going to remove the background. And then I'm just going to have the headphones left. I just clicked remove the background on that picture. So now I just have these realistic looking headphones here, which look great. I could change the color of those headphones by clicking on effects. So look at that. I've just clicked this pink one down here. There we go. I'm going to leave them on there. Okay. Maybe not as bold as I'd like them to be, but for time's sake, I'm going to leave it alone. No, I'm not. I've just added a third color to our picture. And now I can work on my next section. So I could say, if I want to talk about something else, let's say I grew up in Colorado. All right. I could put more images in here. So let's say maybe I wanted to add an icon this time. I'm going to do mountain. Actually, I'm going to do snowflakes. All right, I'm going to grab cool snowflake. Let's do this one. There it is. And again, back to my coloring. I can click over here and do a different fill color. Obviously, we're probably going to want that to be, we want that to be white. So there's my snowflake. I could add some animation and make that fly in, fade out. It will make it a moving screen. So there's that as well. And then on my last here, if I put one more thing, I have a dog. Okay, I'm running out of time because that's what this is like. So you guys obviously know that I would change my fonts here. I would put another picture in. You're getting my, what I've got going here, but I want to give Amy a few minutes as well to do her thing. So if I go in and add a dog, I could even add one from my computer. I could upload from my device. I'm going to type in dog. Okay, this is not what my dog looks like, but I'm just going to use this one. And again, I'm going to remove that background once it uploads, once that goes away. I'm going to remove my background on my photo, which is my favorite thing to do with all the pictures in Adobe Express. There we go. I do have a brown dog named Reese, but that is not what my sweet little pup looks like. Okay. Could y'all tell that I couldn't take it? I had to fix it. I couldn't just end it with it there. All right, dynamic, so that they all look the same. All right. How you guys feeling in the chat? If you have any questions, make sure you put them over there so that I can see what we're still missing, what else you need. I'm about to show you how to get this image now out of Adobe Express. Can you bring in photos from your iCloud? Yes, you can. If they are, if you're logged in, there it says browse your device. So it'll just depend on what you have access to on your computer, what resources you have access to where to bring those files from. Okay, so here's my image. It's looking really good. Oh, I've still got one over here. For time's sake, I'm just going to delete that one. So here's my image. It's looking good. It's more about me. I've just made some edits. But here is the last thing I want to show you about this. I love this. I like the way it looks, but I might want to make a few changes. But I don't really want to mess this one up. Even though I can click up here on the three dots and I can do my version history. So I can go back into my version history now and see at what time I was doing things. I can duplicate and make a copy from a certain point. So I can right here, I can click and create a copy from this version. If I was like, oh, I really wish I hadn't changed that, I can go back in version history. I can add Amy as a collaborator and she could jump in and make some changes and we could work in real time together. But I can also right now just click on my add button over here on the right-hand side and I can click duplicate. And then I can just start making changes. Maybe I want to put different icons in or go with a different color scheme and then decide at the end where I really want to make those changes. So as y'all can see, I just clicked up here on color theme. I'm gonna make another copy, duplicate. Let's change the color theme again so y'all can see what I mean by that. There we go. So now I have 3 different versions in my workbook going of this about me. In just a few minutes, I can kind of see all of my options. If I'm ready to share this out, I can click on download. And I can click on this selected page, PNG, which is best for images, or you can do a JPEG or a PDF. I can download it, or I can also click on my share button and publish to the web. This is where I'm going to be able to invite my collaborators as well. So if students were working on this together, they can collaborate in real time. So like I could say, this part of it is about me and this part is about Amy, and she's going to put her icons in and I'm going to put my icons in, and we're going to share this together. And we can work on that at the same exact time. Or like I said, you can always publish that link and then put that link anywhere that you want to put it. That when you publish the link, it will publish the whole deck together. If I really loved this, but I just was like, I wish I had made it a different size, I can duplicate, resize here. I'm going to do an Instagram post, a square. And now in the same workbook, I could just restart rearranging this. Very easily, could just start making some edits to make this work. I could have clicked that to background. If you're like me and sometimes you move things and you wish you wouldn't, just right click on that layer and lock it in place. And so now I can't move it when I'm moving other things around. Oh, the lock makes life so much easier. So now in the same workbook, I have a perfect square, that Instagram image, and I have all these different versions to work with. Very simple to jump in and start using. I'm going to type in my title up here at the top. To save, it automatically saves. It's been saving this whole time. So if I needed to jump back in, it'd be no problem at all. And then when I'm ready to get back to that home page, I just click on my little Adobe icon in the top left-hand corner. And I'm back here. So if I click on your stuff, I'm going to see my sci-fi about me that I just worked on 1 minute ago. It's in here. And I can tell y'all we've got some other things going on. We've got a few other people in the account. So it doesn't matter. Your account's very safe. Everybody can work together. Super easy to use. Okay, I've got to give Amy just a second to jump in and show her screen. She's going to talk to you guys about how do you use this with Schoology. Over to you, Amy.
Okay, well, I'm hopping over. Okay, so what you just showed, Brooke. First of all, I'm just flabbergasted. So many awesome tools. I have done training on Adobe Express as well, and you just showed me a lot of new tips and tricks that I want to be able to show at my next training. So fabulous ideas. And I love the way that students can start learning to really make it theirs, like you personalized it so much as well. So there's so many options. Students can share what they're learning, they can share their content, and start learning all of those customization type tools that are available throughout Adobe. So this really gets them ready as they get older to use those Adobe tools as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it. It's just a fabulous tool.
And
So,
Amy's also going to show the attendance code. I just realized that I hadn't done that. So Amy, make sure you show that slide while you have it all up.
yeah. Well, you know what? We were going to do that. So let me pop back up.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I bet y'all were waiting for that.
I know. I just had this moment where I was like, oh, I never went back to the slide deck and that attendance code was in there.
Excellent. All right. We're working great as a team then, Brooke.
Yes.
All right. So teachers and staff and all of you out there joining us, your attendance code is there on the screen. Be sure that you jot that down. You're going to see the in-district bit.ly link. So if you are in CFISD, be sure that you use that link to enter your attendance code. Out of district, you'll see the bit.ly for visitors. You're going to submit your attendance by midnight on Sunday. So jot this code down, jot down your bit.ly, and by the end of today, if you finish with the 3 sessions that you view today, and you want to submit those for your 3 hours of PD, you can just do those 3. But you know what's great is this is all recorded. So you can come back and you can watch the ones you missed, and just be sure that you do all of that before midnight on Sunday, and you're going to get credit. Okay, so we're going to move on. And as I said, we're going to talk a little bit about how to collect student products. So we do, all students and teachers do access this through the my.cfisd.net through the portal. And it's very easy for us to access. It is not rostered. So remember, teachers, you're not going to see classes in there. However, there are a lot of really easy ways that you can collect your student products through Schoology. So I'm going to hop over to Schoology and show you a few examples. So one way is you can create an assignment. So when you create an assignment for your students, they're going to go ahead and submit that assignment. They would download the Adobe Express product. You saw Brooke showing how you could hit the download button, and then that was one of your options. On the student Chromebooks, it's going to go ahead and download that, and it's going to put it in the student's Google Drive. When they go to the submit button, let me just show you this slide right here we have in our slide deck. When they go to the submit assignment button, they'll just choose upload file, and they will be able to upload their work, and it'll come straight in from their Google Drive, really easy for them. And as a teacher, when the students upload their files, as a teacher, you're going to go into Schoology and you're going to be able to easily just flip through, see their work, read what they wrote. You've got your comment section over on the side. You can grade it if it's graded. So it's very easy for you to quickly go through the students' work and integrate that with Schoology.
That's great.
So, yeah, so that's one way. Another option is through a discussion. So let's say that you would like your students to share their work with each other and discuss the content, or give feedback to each other about, wow, you did a great job with this part, or the design, or this content. So they can learn content from each other, as well as give each other positive feedback on that, and tips and tricks in design. I know I always love to see what other people do, and I go, oh my gosh, I never thought about designing something that way. Just like when I was watching Brooke, I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I want to try that next time. So those are all of the great benefits of allowing your students to see each other's work. Now, you'll see that each student went ahead and dropped their product in as a link. That is just the share link from their Google Drive product. So they're going to be able to share so that people in Sci-Fair can view. They're going to pop that link in here. So then the student can click on it, other students, and then they can go ahead and enter their replies. And I want to show you a little trick up here. So if I was going to post, your student was going to post, when they click in the editor here, you're going to see this link tool right here. There, you're going to want to teach them that little trick to click on that link. They'll copy the share link from their Google Drive on their product, and they'll paste it right here. And then they can type whatever they want to call it. Amy's Adobe Express All About Me. And then they'll go ahead and save. It'll pop into this post. And that's why this link is a live link. It's clickable. So you can click right on it and it will open the student's work. So that's a quick little tip you want to show your students. That also works in the assignment post if you're using a link there. Okay, so one other option for gathering student work, let me go back to the examples, is a Google form. You can embed a Google form to gather student work. It can be a full, the full embed can show here, that's an option, or you can choose to let it open in another tab. And so when I click the fill out form button, the student would just go in, type in their name. They can either paste the link from their Google Drive for that product, or as we were talking about before, Brooke showed how they could download. Remember, that goes into their Google Drive. They can simply upload that product as well. One other little something I want to mention about for the students on the Chromebooks is that they're not going to see that publish to web link like we saw in Brooke's demo. So just keep that in mind. That is not showing on the Chromebooks, but they can invite collaborators, and the students can also download into their Google Drive on the Chromebooks. So those are the 3 ways that you can collect student work, 3 possible ways. There are other options, but these are 3 easy ways for you to collect their work. And then I love the discussion so they can see each other's and share their thoughts and learning there as well.
Amy, will you show slide 10 real quick? We didn't talk about the resource slide. Guys, we've created a web page for you that has some more resources. There's an evaluation form that's just for me. There's also, so if you click and check those out, that would be really great. I think someone's going to throw it in the chat where you can click it. But also on that resource slide, you're going to see the slides that Amy just showed about Schoology. And then there's like some October challenges. There's some a classroom course. If you want more learning from Adobe, there's some more information on that web page. So open it up, bookmark it, click on those links so that you can use those resources that we've left for you on that web page.
Excellent. Thanks, Brooke.
Yeah. There we go. So like that in chat.
And
all right.
It's in the chat, so y'all are welcome to hop on that. We already did the attendance code. Here are the slides that we just talked about in Schoology that are going to be in that resource link.
Yes.
We do want to thank you all for joining us for the first session. Thanks, Brooke, for just jumping in and taking over, since we had these exciting times happening here at the
kudos to y'all for keeping it running. So good job.
We were getting ready outside with our computers and everything in case we just had to go from out in the parking lot.
Y'all did great. You did great. Thank y'all so much for having me. Can't wait to talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Brooke. We love partnering with Brooke and the Fried Tech group. Y'all are an awesome PD partner to have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great one.
And then Brooke is going to be on her way, but I know you all want to stay tuned, because next here on Channel A, you are going to see Michelle Aguilar and Connie Wood, our awesome EdTech specialists here in Cy-Fair ISD, teach you more about how to clean up the mess in your Outlook and Chrome. And in Channel B, you're going to see a little bit about Performance Matters. Level up your data game with Performance Matters with Jennifer Frazier, our LMS coordinator here in Cy-Fair ISD, and Katrina Matthews, our Schoology specialist. They have so much awesome information for you on Performance Matters. So thank you all for joining us for the first session. We would love for you to stay for the rest of the morning. Remember, this goes until noon and until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock sessions. And don't forget to keep track of those attendance codes, and you have until midnight on Sunday to submit. Thank you all so much for joining. Have a great rest of your day.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15 minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab, because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
YouTube closed captions and subtitles are great. Did you know that you can also have them translated into multiple languages? Turn on closed captioning on your video, then select Settings, Subtitles, and Auto Translate. Multiple languages are available for you to choose. You can do this on videos you find or videos you create. What a great way for students to learn other languages or to find support for languages that they speak.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hello,
Thank
everybody.
you guys for sticking around for the 10 a.m. hour. We are now getting started with the second session on Channel A, Clean Up Your Outlook and Chrome Mess. I'm Michelle Aguilar. I'm also an instructional technology specialist with EdTech here at Sci-Fair.
And I am Connie Wood, and I'm also an instructional technology specialist here at Sci-Fair.
Yeah, so hopefully you've chosen to stick around because you know that your Outlook, you're missing emails, it could work a lot better for you. And maybe you're fiddling around and taking too long to find the things you need when you go to Chrome. So we'll help you out with tons of tips and tricks today. So in the chat room, you'll see our bit.lys for our presentation, but we really invite you to just be engaged and follow along. You'll have access to the presentation at the end. In order to follow us along better, and that way you can click through on your screen, make sure you know how to split your screen. So Windows and then the right or left toggle will help you out with that. Also, we do have a checklist. So if you have the ability to print from where you are, you can print that, write your notes. That way, when you go back to make those changes, to rev up your tools, you'll know what you wanted to do when you were watching. Yes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So what are we going to talk about this morning in these productivity tools? So for Outlook, we're going to talk about the difference between desktop and the Outlook Web PWA. We're going to customize our signatures. We'll talk about email group lists, making folders, rules, and sweeping up the junk. Then we'll move on to the Chrome browser. Did you know you could create different profiles, open pages at launch, sending tabs to your Prometheans? So if you have an AP7 or AP9, this is a great feature. Let's better that bookmarking. Let's try to take off any notifications that are kind of a nuisance. Download settings, bunch more things. So Connie's going to kick it off talking about the differences between the Outlooks.
Okay, great. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited that we're here. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning, but we're going to go ahead and get going. I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. So a lot of us might be using our desktop email, which looks like this. There is a whole lot more functionality in the desktop, and this desktop is mainly what admin uses. And if you want to schedule big meetings or you're taking care of other people's emails, the desktop is really good because you can see as you click through, you have a lot more functionality, a lot more apps and things that you can add to it. But teachers, this one's for you. And I know we're always on the go. We're checking our phones. We're always worried about email. So even when we're out playing or at home, we want to know what's going on. So this one's for you. So I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to go back because the best practices way to get to our email is to go through the CFISD, my CFISD. And if you look around, you can see that Outlook is right here. in your on all your apps. But if you want to, since you're going all there all the time, you can move it right up just like that. And I've already started Schoology and I've started my CFISD webpage. I've favorited them. So all you got to do is right click, add to favorites, and there it will stay right there at the top of all your apps in your My CFISD. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go to Outlook from here. There's several different ways, but this is the easiest and the best practices. So here we are. We are in this, our online version, but we're going to talk about downloading the PWA, and it stands for Progressive Web App, but that doesn't matter. All we want to know is how to do it. So if you look at the whole address right here, and you come all the way, you will see this little screen download looking icon. If you go there, click on that, install. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of my CFISD out. I'm gonna get rid of that. So if you look over here, you see that it created an Outlook icon for you right there on your desktop. Wait, that's my online. This is my PWA. I mean, that's my desktop. This is my PWA. Okay, so here it is. You can see it just automatically made a bookmark right on top of my screen. And it also, when I open it up, come on, open. Let me get it back over here on this screen. All right. So when I open it up, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. You see that it made the shortcut on the desktop, and it also shows up down here in my taskbar. So if you want to just right click and pin to taskbar, right here, you'll have your PWA, the online version, and over here, I also have my desktop version. So they're both open. So now if I want to go ahead and start doing the things that we were talking about, that will save you a lot of time. And teachers, like I said, that one's for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to create your signature. Michelle, I don't know about you, but I've seen some crazy signatures out there. So
That's right.
So what we're going to do now is at least show you how to go in and maybe edit the one you have, or start over if you don't have one. And we're also going to show you another little trick. But let me go ahead and start with your settings. And you come over to compose and reply. And there you go. Here is my work email. That's what I have labeled it as. And I've got my name. I did a little fancy thing with my font, but I didn't get too carried away. I put where my office is. I mean, what I am, instructional technology. This is my office at the MHAB, the address. I put in my Twitter handle because I use Twitter all the time. If you guys follow me, you know I'm always on it. And I just put a little icon. And I'm going to flip it over to Michelle. Wait, hold on. Before I do that, let me go ahead and show you how to do your reply email. But she's going to show you where you can go to get these icons if you want to add these to your signature. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add new signature, and I'm going to name it, let's see, reply email. Because whenever I am replying, I really don't need to show that whole email anymore. Or maybe if I'm doing a casual email, I don't need to have instructional technology. So this is my reply email here. I'm just gonna, I'm always probably planning a meeting or something. So I'm just gonna say, thank you in advance, because that is, polite, and I think that'll be a good closing for most everything. And I'm not even going to put my last name because they see all of my information. I'm trying to make it a little more casual in a reply. So I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to look over here at this reply email. Make sure that it's saved because you sometimes have to save it 2 times, but I think I'm good. And then
Yes.
now.
And just right underneath there, do you see where it says for new messages? Right there, show them, Connie.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there. Oh, slow down, slow down.
There we go.
Okay, right there. For new messages, you want to use that full work email. But then for those replies and forwards, you just want that short, succinct one. So we have that option to customize.
So, and if you set them right here, they'll automatically know that when it's a full, your started email, it'll be your work email. And then when you're replying, it'll automatically put these. So that way you don't have that giant email on everything. And we think that this is pretty helpful because a lot of people don't even really know how to do all that. So that's one thing. We are going to go ahead and move on. But some of you, wait, I'm going to go ahead and let Michelle show you where you can get those cool
Yes.
fonts.
So back in your presentation that you're going to have access to, here's our signature page. And I've highlighted what is the, what they want us to use as our signature. And there's going to be a link there, CFISD logos here. So you can go find those, right click, save them. And when you start typing in your full signature, you can add those icons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that is the format that we would like for you to use. So anyways, we thought we'd show you that, and then now you have all the directions on how to do that. And hopefully, like Michelle said, if you printed out your little worksheet, you're taking some notes. So what we're going to do now is go back to my screen real quick, share it, and I'm going to save this. And then now I'm going to talk about some email list. At your campus, you probably have your team that you're working with, and you have your admin, and you maybe have your coaches. So sometimes it's better to just have one big email list instead of sitting there trying to type everybody out, because what Michelle and I are doing today is trying to save you time, all besides just clearing out everything. We're trying to save you time because we know that that's what no one has enough of.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about you, Connie, but before I knew about this, I would do these mental gymnastics and go around like where everyone's classroom was like, okay, as I'm adding them into the two in the email. And that's so silly.
I know. I do that with our team. I would just go, okay, I'd go down each one of our desk. So it's so much easier now. So what I do is to start your email list, you click on the 2 little people right there, and you go to new contact, but I'm going to click my arrow here because I'm not adding a new contact. We're talking about lists to save you time. So I'm going to do a list. And I've already have one for like my social studies people, and I have one for my team, but I want one just for our It's admin team, because sometimes I just want to send something to them that the whole team doesn't really care about. So I'm going to name it It's admin. Just come in here. And sometimes if you've already emailed a bunch of these people, their names are going to just pop up like Todd. And let me see if Jennifer, there she is right there. You might have to start typing, or you may have to put the whole one in there, but here she pops up, Garstecki. So that is our admin people. I want to create one. I don't really need a description because I know who they are. So I'm going to create it. And now when I look over into my contact list, and I had a bunch of crazy ones, but for the purpose of this, I'm trying to also declutter all of my tech hoarding that I've been doing. So I've learned a lot from just us working together on this. So I have my It's It admin, my members of my team, and my secondary social studies. So now if I need to email any of them, all I do is click on that and my email's sent. I don't have to, like Michelle said, try to figure out if I got everybody and accidentally, leave someone out and anything like that. So that's a quick tip for you.
Yeah.
And
so Connie, maybe you can model and start a new email so they can see where in the two, you're just going to start typing it's admin and it automatically includes everyone.
all righty. So it's, and
There it is.
yep,
It's members.
okay. And so there, I don't have to type everybody out. And so we'll keep going from there.
Yes.
So were we going to add anything?
No.
Because Michelle and I are like working closely together on this. So anyways, now that I'm already in my email and I'm looking at it, I want us to talk about folders. Some of you guys, if you look over here in your email area where, you have your folders and the sent and the deleted, it's probably a mess because mine was. So what we do is we're making folders. And as you can see, and I learned this from Michelle, I put alphabetical, I put the alphabet in there so they'll be right in order. So if I add another one, I add F, and all my folders are right there at the top under my inbox. And so I have all my email that goes from things I want to keep, my social studies, and my work that I need to put in there because something happened. But anyway, that's all new. So when you're making folders, all you got to do is right click, create new subfolder. And this one, I want to put campus work, campus visits. So I'm going to put campus visits. And then I'm going to save it. And it goes right there. So now whenever I go to visit my campuses and I need to follow up on that, I can just come to one of them and I have, why don't I do this? Because I want to save everything that Michelle sends me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on her and move. And then Michelle is already created in my folder. So I have them here and you can see that if I go down here, she's in the team. I do my caret and there's Michelle. I've already created that folder a long time ago. So now in my inbox, I can right click, move, and send it to Michelle and it goes in there. But if I want to, we're going to talk about rules in a minute because that was just individually. But now we're going to talk also about important things that you can do as far as like Schoology. All my Schoology things actually goes into my junk mail for some reason. So I don't want to miss out on that. So I'm going to go to junk mail and I'm going to look and see I have a bunch of Schoology stuff in there.
Yeah. Connie, this one's big.
Yeah.
When we're on campuses, we see that people are struggling. They have like thousands of emails perhaps unread because all their Schoology notifications are coming through. And then they're missing those important emails from their admin or parents or whatnot. So making that folder for Schoology, and then Connie's going to show us right now how to make the rule so that all those Schoology notifications go straight into that folder and they will not clutter your inbox.
Right. And you can do that with like your Google Forms receipts and things like that. You can make a folder for each one of those and a rule to where you really never miss out. Like the forms, sometimes you might have to say, oh yeah, I did finish that course or whatever, and just go and there will be right there in your folder because you've created the rule for it. So for Schoology, what I'm going to do is I am going to go up to rules, manage rules. And I've got some other ones right here, but I want to add a rule. And the name of my rule is going to be Schoology. Any Schoology receipt, Schoology, if I'm going to use the address, I'm just going to put, God, if I could spell, add a condition. So from, and so what I want to show you is I don't want to just put anything from Schoology because, maybe a team member or something sends you something with Schoology in there. So what I want to put in here in the rule is, how do I get
The
that?
actual email.
Yes.
So when I did this the first time, I looked at those Schoology notifications and noticed a trend. They were all coming from the same email. Notifications.
Yeah, here it is.
Schoology.com.
Right here. So I'm going to
And
copy.
so that's what she's going to type in.
I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back to my rules. Create rule. Select a folder. Oh, wait, I'll start over. Rules, manage rules, new rule, and here's my Schoology one. And then the condition is going to be from, and then I'm going to paste that in there. So now it's just the ones coming from Schoology, not a parent asking about Schoology or anything else. And then so I'm going to add an action, and I'm going to say move to folder. And I'll start typing, and it already comes up, my Schoology D.
So I saw that Deanna and Yuri asked kind of about that. And this is what we're showing you. How do you get each email into a specific folder? And that's the power of rules.
Yes, and I'll show you that. I'm in the process, and we'll get there. So now I want to run this rule. And if you have a jillion emails, it might take a little while, but if you have just a few, you can go ahead and run the rule now, or you can wait.
That's a kind of a personal choice. You can say today's a new day, and then from today forward. So you would just leave the stop processing more rules on now. That just means it's going to override any rules that you have. If you don't have any, it's neither here nor there. But you may think, wow, I've worked for the district for 10 plus years. Do I really want it crawling all of my emails? It's going to slow you down.
Yes.
So, you could just be like, today's a new day, and it'll start the rule from today forward. I'm not going to worry about what's there right now.
Right. Because yeah, and that's the thing, we're trying to declutter and show you, and I'm about to show you something called archive, where some of you may have already worked at another building, or you might have a new job or something like that. And you think, oh, I really need to hang on to some of those emails that I, had before. But you don't want them, like Michelle said, cluttering up your inbox. So you might want to archive them. And I'm kind of, like I said a minute ago, I'm kind of like a tech hoarder. I'm scared I'm going to really need to use something later on. But in my archives, I don't have anything now, but I did notice that in my inbox, I get these National Geographic magazines. And so I want to save those because I am a social studies coach, and I feel like maybe sometimes I could use those. So I'm going to create a rule, and I am going to select my folder, and I'm going to go to archive. There it is. And I'm going to okay, run the rule now. But I have a lot of those, and I can run that. And now my National Geographics are all going to go, and you can see them all moving out into my archive. And I click my archive, and there they are. So,
and you can make subfolders in your archive.
Yeah.
So I've moved buildings, and this isn't one of those like junk drawer things.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good cleaning out the junk drawer. Is it necessary? No. But if I was at Side Park, I made a folder and I made rules. So that all the admin and counselors and everything, that was sent to me while I was there, I archived it into a folder. So that's something you can do.
Yeah, and like Michelle said a second ago, you could be jotting this down. You don't have to archive everything. It could be something from here on out, so we're going to go ahead and move down to, I showed you how to create the rules. So we're almost finished with this, but there's one last thing that I know that I need to show you. I'm going to go back to my inbox. And I got some crazy emails from Best Buy. I think maybe we ordered some tech stuff from there, and now they just happen to be in my inbox.
This is going to help that question that Deanna had. So, about sweeping things in.
Yeah, and you have the little icon right up here in the top. So I'm going to go to this Best Buy and click on that. And first of all, before I even do anything with it, because I want to stop getting them, but I want to make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to try to get them out, to quit sending me stuff. But now that I've done that, yes or no thanks, I don't want any. I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to go back to my email that I just closed out, probably. But I can pop it right open because I have it right there peeing in my taskbar. So anyway, I am going to click on sweep, and I'm going to say move all messages from inbox, but just in case, because sometimes you do unsubscribe and they still send you stuff. I'm going to say move all messages now and in the future. I'm going to click that. And I just want them deleted because I don't care. I never want to go back and look at them. It's not like I'm putting them in the archive or anything. I just want them gone. Click OK. Now they're sweeping and I can view my rules. It's in there. And there's.
So notice how it was a sweep, but it actually made that rule because she said in any future messages.
Right.
So this is great. Sometimes you visit websites, we allow cookies, and apparently we also allowed the email marketing.
Right.
And Outlook's really good about putting stuff in clutter, but it misses some things.
Right. And that's the thing. And really quick, before I hand it off to Michelle, if you don't want to make a rule, you just have one thing. Like I have something here from, let me see, my husband here. And I just want to, he barely sends me anything, but this is important. So I'm going to do a quick step, and I can just simply right click on him and then move it to running, because that's what it's about. And it'll go right in there. So you can right click and do a quick step without having to create a rule for everything. You can just do it right on the fly.
Yeah, that's what I love about the desktop version of Outlook. It's pretty intuitive. The layout is a lot cleaner, and you can get to the same things in a variety of ways.
Right.
And as you guys are following along, I don't know if you noticed, it is the Outlook for web, but because it's kind of like a desktop app, it's pinned to your taskbar. And as we move into Chrome, it's not like you have that email tab hidden with all your other 3 Chrome tabs.
Right.
And you lose it.
Right.
So having it in that progressive web app, that's what that's called, it's just cleaner. So you're just focusing on the email. You do it morning, midday, end of day, and you're not having to jockey between all these tabs of instructional materials.
Right. Well, I'm glad that we're doing this because I see teachers struggling all the time. And I know you have some awesome things that I can't wait for them to see about their Chrome. So
I did want to show us, before I move over to Chrome, later on you guys access the presentation. On those folders, lots of ideas of, hey, what folders would work for me? So I saw somebody said I'm a SPED teacher. Yes, make a folder for SPED and make a rule for all those people that are consistently sending those emails, so it's all in that one place. Label them in ABC order, so you put them in your order of importance. I went ahead and told you what those notifications for Schoology and the Google Forms are.
Michelle, one thing before we go from this, you're making these rules and you're making your folders, you're archiving, you're sweeping, whatever, and you take your time and figure out which way you want to go. And there's several ways you can do it, but you do need to know that if you have notifications set and you get something, it's not giving you a notification when it just automatically sends it over to those folders.
That's right. So if you kind of live and die by notifications, you may think subfolders aren't for me. But some of us are getting so many emails and junk and everything that our notifications are kind of running wild.
Right.
So when you have your dialog open, you can see next to each subfolder a bolded number, and that tells you it's new.
Right. So just remember that we're trying to help you, but we don't want to hurt you either. So, all righty.
Okay, perfect.
Second half. Okay, everyone, we're going to go into the second half of the presentation, and now we're going to kind of tackle Chrome. But before we do, let's take a 60-second break to get our attendance code. It is now on the screen. The attendance code for the Outlook and Chrome cleanup session is on the screen at this time. And we do have a bit.ly for in-district and out-of-district attendance. That's right. And so, our goal is, hey, let's make sure you have, great procedures so that way you're not tripping on that stuff and you can get to the business of teaching kids, right? So all the little stuff is less and less of a stressor. So hopefully you're finding some tools today to help you with that. All right, we're going to move on from the attendance code and then jump straight into Chrome. Now, did you know that you can create different profiles? Yes, you can. So if you have Gmail as one of your emails, right, aside from your district credentials, you can create different profiles. So you're not, doing your private business on your district credential login. So I won't dive too deep into this. You're going to be able to access this because that's, everyone has their personal options if they want to toggle between Gmail and their district login. Now, I will say, if you ever on a PD, this happens all the time. If you scan like a QR code from your phone and you're like, I can't open it because that QR or the share settings have been set to just from someone in district. So also dig in and learn, how do I toggle on my Chrome phone app between my two accounts? So it's a good thing to know. All right, we're going to go and jump right into our next feature is to customize your waffle. So a lot of people didn't know that they could do this. And we're going to jump into Chrome. And I'm signed in. And we're here at the waffle. We call that the waffle because it has those 9 dots. And you're going to click on it. And all of these different Google apps, you can move them around, right? So if I use YouTube on occasion, I go to Drive most often, then I go to YouTube, then I have all my Google apps. I can move those around. Some people still have Classroom at the top. We don't use that no more. You can slide it down to the bottom. What I have found though is that really the only ones you can slide around are the Google apps. If you keep on scrolling down, there's kind of like different sheets for it. There's Cami there, which I got excited, but that one, it doesn't let you move up, probably because it's not a native Google app. So just a quick tip, just if you are a waffle person and that's how you get to your things, quickly move them around so that it increases your productivity. Okay.
I'm glad you showed that. That's for a while the district had blocked that.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to go into some settings. So we're going to go up here to now it's the snowman, the 3 dots. I know we have names for all these little tech things. And you're going to go to settings. The Google Chrome settings are pretty simple. And the first one I'm going to talk about is notifications. So that one you're going to go to privacy and security and site settings. So again, how are we getting there? Right now we are at the snowman. We are going to settings. Then you go to privacy and security. And then site settings. Why am I bringing notifications up? We are on campuses and we see people. I mean, it happened to me. All of a sudden, I started getting these KHOU notifications. And it'd be one thing if it's just weather, but then, some really crazy cases, on the news are like scrolling in. And then, if you're still on HDMI because you still have an older panel, you don't want that popping up in front of your kids, right? So this is something that you need to go and kind of clean up. So after site settings, then you look for notifications, and there they are. Now this one's pretty clean, but some of you are going to discover as you scroll in that you have a few. So then you can click on it and then you can decide to delete it, or then move it to not allowed to send notifications, don't allow sites to send notifications. So this is where you can customize those rules.
All right, perfect. Now we're going to move to, honestly, this is the biggest game changer. If anything today, because 95% of our stuff now is all browser based, right? This really changed my workflow over the summer when I found it. So once you still in the settings dialog, go to downloads. And there's not too much here, but it's so powerful. You know that when you're online and you're downloading anything, it goes straight to your download folder. And we've seen it. Some of you guys have so much in that download folder, but that's on your hard drive. So someone earlier today said, hey, how can we clean things up?
Speed up our computer. Maybe it's bogging down, right? And this could be it. If you kind of live and die by your download folder and you actually go back to your download folder to open files all the time, it's eating up at that working memory. So here you could actually change it. If you're a OneDrive person, this is great. So that way you go straight into your cloud. If you have Google Drive app, you can change it so you can point it to anywhere you have in your organizational system. But that's actually what I didn't do. What I did, because everything I download is for a different project, for a different workflow. And so I toggled right here where it says, ask where to save each file before downloading. And that is such a game changer, because if I'm like in Canva and I'm downloading all these flyers or all these things and I'm working on the actual project, I hit the download, it's going to pop up the dialog and it's going to say, where do you want to save it? So instead of our usual workflow that it would hit your download, you go and open it, you work on it, and in the back of your mind it's like, I'll move it later. That later never happens, right? And so this really changes things up.
So I hope that that's something that you're for writing notes, say, hey, I need to change and say, ask where to save each file before downloading.
Well, and some people even, they don't know where they put it. They'll hit download. They don't even realize it goes into the download.
We see a lot, curriculums. Some curriculums are zip files. Imagine all those big zip files and they're sitting in your download folder and they're eating up a lot of that working memory. So yes, this is a big one. All right, we're going to move out of the settings for now, but like I said, it's easy. You guys can go in through there and change for what fits your needs best. And now we're just going to go into, let's see here. Those are the download settings. Now we're going to go into tab management. Okay, this is big. This is part of what we were talking about, that we see some teachers struggling, in that morning routine. They're getting there. Oh, what am I doing today? And They're digging through their Google Drive, trying to open up all the things that they need. And this is a game changer if you have an AP7 or AP9 panel, but honestly, it's for everybody, right? So we're going to be talking about tab management. And it's going to pop back out to Chrome. And the first thing I'm going to say is that I bet you didn't know, or some of us do and some of us don't, I guess, that you can send things to your Promethean panel.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I have people asking me that every single day.
So let's walk through this process. You have your laptop, you're logged in, and then you're going in the morning and logging into your panel on that OPS, the other computer in your classroom, right? And a lot of people that do have the new panel and they're plugged in, they want to get plugged in because they're like, what if I need to pull up something on the fly? I don't want to be Google searching or YouTube searching in front of the kids. I'll extend and just slide it. But you don't have to do that anymore because you are logged into 2 devices. Now I'm actually going to show us this process. I can talk it through, but it's just best to show. Okay. So here I am. I'm on my laptop. I'm going to go back. It's a little fast. Okay. Nope. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back. Okay, so I can hit send. It'll pop up, send to another device. And because I'm logged into the OPS, it recognizes that as another device I'm signed into, and it gives me that pop-up. I say, okay. And then let's say that video that I wanted to show the class to extend their learning will be there.
So it's pretty simple.
So, Michelle, is there any settings that you need to put on the panel, or it just recognizes it?
Because you're signed into your Chrome on the panel and you're signed in on your laptop, I want everyone to look at that little icon, that little box with the right arrow. If you have your
Chrome open right now,
each and every website you go
to has that little guy on that address bar. He's been hanging out there this whole time, right? So if you click on it and see send to your devices, you right now may not see any other device that you're signed into. If you had your phone and you were signed into your Google Chrome, that would show up as a device, right? So think about those things. Even like if you're on the phone or you have a tablet in your classroom and you're finding something, even from there, if you're signed into that instance of Chrome, you can send it to another device.
Michelle, that is so amazing because I have high school teachers that just, oh, I'm so scared to let go of my computer. And now they don't have.
That's right. So we plan
and we're ready to go for the day. But what ends up happening is that we, have in 10 or 15 minutes left over. We went through too quick. The kids kind of understood, or, you are, or you're seeing their faces that they're not understanding, right? So you're going to pull up a resource, to fill in that learning gap. And this is that on the fly teaching. Us as professionals know, we know how to read our kids. We know like, hey, I need a supplement here or there. And so having this option gives us that flexibility, even though we're not tethered by that wire from our panel to our computer. So, and those of you that are like, oh, I don't have it, it's coming. So everyone will get one eventually. So, all right. So still talking about tabs, those of us, and I've been reformed because I totally used to be this way, that have so many tabs, and it ends up to where you only see the little favicon. That's the name for that little icon right there in that corner. So you end up only seeing the favicon and you're like, oh my gosh, like for me, because I'm a Canva convert, like I end up with like 15 tabs of Canva and I'm like clicking through all of them to see what they are. Well, there's this little guy over here. His name is Carrot. That's a tech name for this little guy, and it's C-A-R-E-T. So some vocabulary for you today. So you hit on this carrot, and all your tabs that you have will be detailed out, and you get a little bit more of the name. And check this out, the recently closed. I know a long time ago, someone told us like, oh, Control Alt T or something to recover those closed tabs. Like, who's going to remember that? Now, all you have to do is this caret that's always hanging out up here. And then you'll see your open tabs and then anything that you've closed before. So it's a great tip to remember. Hey, this is here. I can figure out what all my little tabs that I have open, if I have like 30 open at a time, are, or hey, I need to recover something I accidentally closed, right? Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go to naming windows. Again, there's teachers that are working on this project. It's the end of the day. You're like, I don't really want to close my Chrome, or I do need to minimize that, but planning time is over and the kids are coming in, and I just want something fresh without all my craziness. You can name something. So if I right click over here, right, let's see here, it's not showing up. You should say name window. Oh, there it is. I just wasn't seeing it. So right click over any open area. You have all your tabs open and you can name this window. And if this is where I'm working on for EdTech Live, that's where I'm going to name it. EdTech Live. I don't know if I spelled it right. And now if I'm hovering over here, it's going to show very small on your screen. Notice how now it's titled EdTech Live. So if I'm working on a project, if I'm in the middle of a planning and I can quickly name this, okay, next week's plan, minimize it, open a fresh Chrome so that when my kids come in, it's, it's not craziness, so that's another tip for you to manage all your Chrome tabs. All right, now we're going to go into this is what I'm pushing this year with everywhere I go on campus is when I'm either training for panels or not. Let's better our bookmarking. Now, I was totally reformed from this. When I go to PDs, you get those bit.lys like you're getting this morning, right? And you open it and you bookmark it. And then over here on the side, you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you have all these crazy bookmarks, right? And, there's a better way. Okay, so you can better your bookmarking. So let me pop on out and show you live. So maybe you have individual things right here on this bookmark bar, right? And then you're going to go to all bookmarks and you have a ton of stuff listed. What I really recommend are 2 folders. There's other stuff you can do, but start with 2. And the first one, I'm going to add a page and I'm going to call this teacher admin. And you want to bookmark all those things that as a teacher, did I add? I think I added a page. That as a teacher, it's the business of being a teacher. So things like your grade book, your email, if you're not going to do the PWA part, right? I need to delete that one. And then I would do another one called daily. I'm going to go the long way to show you daily because some of us have so much stuff here in the bookmark bar, we don't have any open space. So this is, again, all detailed on the presentation. You go to your snowman, you go to bookmarks, bookmark manager, and then you're going to come again to this snowman. It's kind of misleading. There's like 3 in there. And you'll find add new folder. So this one I'm going to call daily. So what would I put in my daily? I said teacher admin would be email, my grade book. Maybe there's, behavior reports that my campus uses. Maybe my campus has a hub. All that would be in my teacher admin, and on my laptop, that's what I would open up for the day. And then in my daily, I would put everything that's instructional, right? Everything that's forward facing for the students. Because if I'm synced with Google and I have that panel in the room, that it's its own computer, all I have to do is go up to that panel in the morning and open everything up for daily. So let me walk you through quickly what I mean. So for instance, I am going to my drive, right? And you can do this during your planning, seated at your computer. You don't have to do this up at the panel. And I know that every day we show the bus dismissal stuff, or we show the morning slides. Think of all those things that you are doing in the morning. Here's my morning announcements. I'm going through my drive and thinking, what am I opening up every day, right? I also know that here is my science lessons for the week. And oh, we also have our bringing out the best presentations during advisory. So what are you going to need for the kids to see that week? And you open them up. You've made your daily folder. I'm going to come here to the star. I'm going to bookmark it, and then I can tell it where to go. So here I am choosing daily for that one. Here are my morning meeting slides. I'm going to choose daily. Okay, in my science, lessons. Here's another morning meeting. So these are just examples from around the district, right? Here's car riders, or maybe you have the bus dismissal. And then what you can do, I'm going to show you. Now I'm closing them out. But let's say in the morning, and again, you don't have to already have the AP9. But now all you have to do is right click or double tap if you are at the panel, and you say open all four. And how much easier is that for your morning? And so then what happens, make this a routine. As you're planning with your team and you guys have finished out your lesson slides, bookmark it to that daily folder. On Fridays, you're done with that lesson slide, or if you do individuals, delete it. Because if I come here to daily and, oh, it's Friday, I'm going to delete. It's not deleting the actual slides. It's just deleting the bookmark. So use bookmark folders. It's really going to help you out to, speed up your mornings. Okay. So we're almost out of time, but I did want to show you about extensions. So we do have a list of Cypher approved extensions. I'm going to go ahead and go there. It's on the presentation. And these have already been curated and approved. See how on the side it even says these are from the web store, but they're approved apps for the district. And so there's tons of stuff. There's instructional, there's productivity, and you can go through. Cami is a great one to have, especially if you're using Canva, but that's another thing.
So another training.
Yes, that's another training. But we have a bunch of them here, so you can go through them. Or also, part of cleaning up is coming here to the little puzzle piece and saying, hey, I need to delete this, right? Because I'm not using it. Are you still using Bitmoji? Some of us aren't anymore. So let's take it out, right? So right here at the puzzle piece is where you can manage, and you can turn off the bookmarking, the pinning, if you want them to show up here or not. But I did link all these approved ones. Here's a screen capturing one. That's good. Those of you that are new to a district and may not know, and you scroll down, is WeVideo. So when we started kind of digital learning, there was Screencastify and Loom. Our district provides to all staff and students WeVideo. So you can screencast, and you can also do a lot of video editing. So make sure you know about that. Add that extension, go to the website, single sign on with your district credentials for screencasting. All right, so we're almost done. I wanted to show you that we can customize our Google Chrome. I know there's other parts of our computer we can no longer customize, but we're not gonna go into details about that because honestly, we don't even know ourselves. So, but here on your Google Chrome, you can come down here, you'll see a little pen and you can customize. You can change your background color, follow your school colors, your alma mater. Sometimes it's just the little things that make you happy, right? And then if you come to theme, they have some free selected themes, but you can also upload an image, right? Work-friendly image. For me, I went to like an Adobe Express or Canva, and I found this great little background, put my little girl's pictures in there, and I get to see it every time I open up Google. So there are options there to customize. And that wraps up the Chrome and Outlook training. I hope you guys got a lot of great tips for you. There's a customize. There's going to be videos at the end. Let me go through that.
one more time. And thank you for joining us at this 10 o'clock hour. If you think this presentation needs to reach your campus, contact your EdTech, right? We'll bring it to campus, help all the teachers out. Even if you're a seasoned teacher, these are tricks that really help that productivity so that your focus is on the instruction with your students.
Yeah, Michelle, and real quick, like you said, everybody will have panels pretty soon. And those of you that already have them, the tips that she just showed you will so help you with your panels. And we'll be glad, all of us will be glad to go and help you set that up. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to the 11 o'clock hour. We have our channel A,
Maximize your Chromebooks with the lovely Danielle and Jim May. And then in channel B, Make Your Notes Matter with Cami. And we'll have Ryan and Tammy there for you to show you all about Cami. All district provided resources for you to learn more and more about.
Welcome to EdTech Live. We are happy that you are here. I'm Ryan, and this is Tamara.
We'd like to take a moment to welcome you to today's event and give you a little information about what to expect.
New sessions start each hour, and you can stay for the whole event or just watch the sessions that you're interested in seeing. There is a 10 to 15-minute break between each session where you can enter your attendance credit or take care of personal needs. During the live event, you also have 2 sessions to choose from each hour. After the live event, you can watch any of the other sessions on your own time.
During each session, the host will give you a link and a secret code to jot down. This will be the link that you use to access the attendance forms, and you will enter the code into the form. You can keep this form open throughout the event in a separate tab because you'll have to do this for each session. You can still earn attendance credit even if you're watching after the live event. However, you must submit by midnight tomorrow.
Within an hour of submitting your attendance, you should be receiving a response receipt. If you do not receive this email, please resubmit the attendance form and double check to ensure that your email is typed correctly.
We, along with the entire EdTech team, would like to thank you for joining us today and enjoy your session. It will be starting soon.
YouTube closed captions and subtitles are great. Did you know that you can also have them translated into multiple languages? Turn on closed captioning on your video, then select Settings, subtitles, and auto-translate. Multiple languages are available for you to choose. You can do this on videos you find or videos you create. What a great way for students to learn other languages or to find support for languages that they speak.
All right, it looks like we are ready for our 11 o'clock session. Are you ready?
I am so excited.
All right, so what we want to do today is we want to start a little bit early. We just want to make sure that you are in the right spot. You are in channel A of EdTech Live. We also have channel B running at the same time, so feel free to check that out or check it out later. But we're super excited that you're here, and we're going to be talking about maximizing the Chromebook today.
Feel free to add anything in the chat as we begin our presentation.
All right, so as you can see, we are in football mode. So we are going to be talking about maximizing the Chromebook, but this is our playbook. So we're going to give you some ideas and things that you can use to not only help yourselves, but help your students in the classroom. Here in Sci-Fair, we are one-to-one Chromebook. So we want to make sure that those Chromebooks are being used in ways that are allowing for creativity instead of just consumption.
Absolutely. Get some student engagement out here using our Chromebooks.
Yes. So we're your coaches today. I'm Danielle Hames. This is my 16th season here as an EdTech coach, kind of crazy. And I'm originally from New Jersey, which makes me an Eagles fan because we're from South Jersey. So
I don't know about that. And I am Jamae Johnson, and this is my 23rd season. So I'm getting old up in here, but that's okay. I'm a native from Illinois. And what about those Bears this past Thursday?
They actually won. You better enjoy that while you can.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we want to just show you very quickly in case you want to follow along with us. Our session's a little bit different because we are talking about the Chromebook, but if you wanted to take notes or something to split your screen, you can do that by using the Windows key on your Windows device and then arrow left or arrow right to split your screen. And then that way you can kind of have two things going at one time. So as you can see here, like our presentation could be at one side and you could be taking notes or doing something on the other side. So that's how you're going to split the field today.
Let's get started. I'm excited. Wow, look at that reel. Oh, have you met the newest player in your classroom?
I have.
The MVP is your Chromebook. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And I love the quote to the right because it says that the most valuable player is the one that makes the most players valuable. So our Chromebook is what's going to kind of go ahead and boost up what you're doing in the classroom. So we're really excited to introduce you to our MVP. A great quote from Peyton Manning, huh?
It is. And Peyton Manning is one of my favorite players. Even though I am a diehard Eagles fan, I have a lot of appreciation for quite a few players in the NFL. And I see some of you in there screaming out your team. I see some Go Eagles. Robert Thompson is in there and Go Texans, Stephanie. So yeah, feel free to shout out your team because who doesn't love to say who they love in football, right? But this is our game plan for today. So we are going to talk about, just like all coaches, we're looking for three very special things. So we're looking for strength, we're looking for agility, and we're looking for speed. Today, we're translating that from the Chromebook to the fundamentals, which are the basics. Then we're going to talk about accessibility tools and our built-in features, things that the Chromebook come with that you don't really have to do anything else to be able to use and access. So that's our plan for today.
Looks good. Let's get started.
All right, so first we're going to talk the fundamentals. We're making those catches, and we're going to talk about the strength of the Chromebook and just some basics to get you going.
So we're going to start with, what can a Chromebook do? Looks like we can do a lot of the web-based online resources, and in Sci-Fair, we do have a lot of online resources out there. And also, just like Coach Haynes said, we're going to talk about some built-in tools, things that you may not be aware of and things that you can pass on to your kids.
Yes, and then we do want to just let you know that there are some things that will not work on a Chromebook. So software cannot be installed on a Chromebook. Okay, it's basically a web-based device, but that's okay because you can do so much with it using those web-based tools. And a lot of our programs that we use now with our students are all web-based, which make it great. But they also don't have a very big hard drive. So it's very important that you can share things through your Google Drive or OneDrive or other cloud-based forms, because it doesn't have a lot of room to save stuff right there.
Okay, I'm not going to make y'all get up and do yoga or anything, but did you know that our Chromebooks can actually flip and bend? And what we like about that is that we've seen some of the Chromebooks used in some of the schools where they have it kind of propped up like that and they're in stations. And then some of the kids bend it all the way back, and then they have a great e-reader. So I really like that feature of the Chromebook. So if you didn't know, they do that. And if you did, that's okay too. But you could think of all the possibilities with it actually being able to be flipped.
Yes, and the stylus too, like if they have it flipped like that, it's real easy for them to write using the stylus. And that's one of my favorite things when I go into the classroom and see kids actually using it like that. I'm like, it's amazing. I thought Jemay was going to ask me to do the flip like that gentleman in the bottom. So I'm really glad she didn't do that.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe at the end. All right, so at the top of your Chromebook, you can see up in the top corner, because a lot of you probably don't have Chromebooks with you now. So we're trying to kind of show you what it looks like. So when you're back in the classroom with your students, you'll see that. So up at the very top of your Chromebook, you have some fundamental things, easy things, but we wanted to highlight them just very quickly. So we're just going to run through them.
Yeah, just really quick. And just like Coach James was saying, the escape is the same that's on our laptop. So it just stops the operation and cancels things. And then the next one is the previous, the arrows to the left and the arrows to the right will help you navigate between the browsers and your history on a Chromebook. And it does it very well. And then, of course, the reloading one and kind of like a refresh is another button that's very top of their Chromebook.
Yep, and then you can maximize your window. So if you want to see everything on the screen instead of all of your different tabs, you can use that one that looks like a little square with the lines to maximize your window. You can also switch to the next window. Sometimes students will actually create multiple desktops, and that allows them to quickly go back and forth between that. So that's a good tip for teachers that you might want to check and make sure that they're not switching between desktops. But it does let you switch between your tabs as well. And then, of course, you can decrease and increase brightness. A lot of times these Chromebooks are set to the highest brightness, and it actually will make the battery go down a lot faster. So you want to make sure that you have a bright enough, but not too bright. So that's an easy way to do that, just using those up at the top. And then lastly, you can lock your screen. So you can just lock your screen if you're going to walk away just for a moment. It's good safety to go ahead and lock that screen so that when you come back, you have to log in and no one can do anything on your device while you're gone. So that's the basics. So now let's talk about some of the top keyboard shortcuts, because what you'll notice when you look at a Chromebook is it looks a little bit different. So there's no delete. That was the biggest thing from like, where's the delete? There's no caps locks. It's like, wait a second. So there are some keyboard shortcuts that we want to share with you just to make sure that you know how to do certain things.
For example, the cap lock off and on is very important. I know I've even had teachers go, oh my gosh, the cap locks is off and I don't know how to help the student. So that one is a really important one we thought we would share. And it's basically you're pressing the search key plus the alt, and that toggles between off and on. So one thing that you can notice at the bottom, if you see that little icon, that means the cap locks is on. So you could kind of gauge whether or not what's happening there. And so if you see that little icon, then you could you could help them out with that caps lock on and off, just that search and alt, and that toggles between off and on. So keep that one in your memory bank.
And you're going to notice a lot of the shortcuts include that search, that little thing that looks like a magnifying glass. A lot of them use that. I saw another EdTech person call it the everything button because it seems like everything happens with that button. You can also lock your screen with that search button again, and the L, that'll lock your screen similar to that little key that we just talked about up at the top. One of our favorite easy ones.
Yes, we love this one, and I do it a lot just on my laptop, but it's that Control plus C makes a copy, and then wherever you want to transfer it to, you go Control plus V, like in Victor. So that's how that's how you copy and you paste. And we're going to do a little trick later on how to copy and paste on the Chromebook.
That'll be definitely, when she shows that, that's going to be definitely in our highlight reel. It might make ESPN. So we're going to try for that. Okay. And then lastly, this is a good one. If you're asking students to do things and you need like a record of it, you want them to submit it inside of Schoology or inside of a form or something, you can actually take a quick screenshot of the entire screen using the Control, and then they call it the show windows button, but we put a little picture there so you can see it. But again, that's up at the top in that functions bar. So you can take a quick screenshot of that entire screen, and then they are able to share it in other places.
I use that one a lot, even when I'm making help sheets and stuff too.
Yes.
So again, we have the split screen, and I know that Coach James was kind of talking about it, what it looks like on a laptop, but on a Chromebook, it's kind of a little bit different. You're going to click that Alt key, and then they're going to see the little bracket, but that's the fancy little bracket up there at the top. So it'll move left and it'll move right. So to the left bracket and to the right bracket. So that's real quick, kind of if you want the students to split their screen.
Yes, and then you can also sign out of your Google account very quickly by using Shift plus Control plus Q and then the Q again. So it's like you have to do those three and then Q one more time, and it's going to like totally shut down your computer all the way to black screen, which is really important. And I see some of you in the chat are wondering if we're going to share our presentation. I promise you we will. We will show it at halftime. Okay, so you will have all of this information and you are welcome to share it with your campus.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so this is the last one we want to show you, is that I know that there are a ton. We just highlighted a couple of them, but there is a keyboard shortcuts helper from our Chromebooks. So if you use Control plus Alt and then that little backslash, that will bring up over here on the right, we're showing you, that will bring up all of the different shortcuts. So in your spare time, you may want to go in there and check out some of those shortcuts, because there are so many there that you can utilize.
Yeah, and you could help personalize it for each student differently if you need to do that as well.
Yeah, there are some people that are big shortcut people. Like I feel like they always are using shortcuts, and then there's people that like to go the long way sometimes. So every second counts. That's my motto. So shortcuts are great.
Love it.
All right. Lastly, we are going to share this with you in the chat. This is not to our presentation, but this is a link to Shortcuts at a Glance created by John Sowash, who is one of our EdTech friends here in Sci-Fair. He's actually been a part of our DLC, but he has an entire website all about Chromebooks, and he does a great job sharing information. So if you are not already following him, please make sure that you follow him and grab that Shortcuts at a Glance sheet that we are sharing here.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love it because you can, like, I think you just said you could copy it and just have it posted, or just have it somewhere where the kids could grab it, because it's going to be that mental using, shortcuts in your head. Because I know once I use something, a lot of times then it'll be stored in my memory. So not all of them, but you can just take time and practice the ones that you use frequently.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is pinning your apps to the shelf. So when you're on a Chromebook, in the bottom left corner, you have the launcher. The launcher will bring up all of the apps that you currently have open there or available to you. But if you want to pin them so that they show down here at the bottom, so it's easy access for your students or for yourself, when you're in the launcher, you would just right click and then you're going to choose pin to shelf. And that will allow you to keep them down there for some quick, easy access. Okay, and I do see some questions in the chat, so we'll answer them in a little bit. Someone was asking for Spanish accents on the letters.
You know what? That's a great question, because when we talked about the keyboards, there's the international keyboard, and I was looking at that the other day. So maybe we could show you how to customize that. That's a great question.
That's a really good
I
question.
love that one for sure.
All right. And then we just want to very quickly talk about Eric Kurtz.
Yeah, we really like this, his help sheet on just how to use the touchpad instead of us reinventing that. His is really good because he's talking about 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, and 4 finger, about how each of the things could be navigated. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So we just want to let you know that this is something that we're going to put out there for you as well. So take a look at that. The one I want to really emphasize is the right click. I was telling Danielle, I was on the Chromebook and I was like trying to do a right click with 1 finger. Guess what? I need to make sure I have 2 fingers on the touchpad in order to bring out that right click dialog. And also, I know she was talking about pinning. Also, when we were trying to help kids pin things in ClassLink, they have to do it the same way so that they could grab that and then it will pin it to the bottom. So just remember, if anything today, you remember the 2 finger right click.
That's good. So, and we put that here for you as well, is that, you know, it's pretty cool that these touchpads can actually realize that you have 1 finger or 2 fingers or 3 fingers or 4 fingers. But if you use your 2 fingers, you can actually right click, like she said, and that is listed there for you. And then just a couple of our other favorites. To scroll, you can use your 2 fingers to scroll up and down, or left to right. You can use 3 fingers to switch between those tabs.
Those virtual kind of desktops too.
Yes.
With the tabs.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
going back and forth between our tabs. All right, so now we're moving on. It's time for accessibility. We have some agility here, some ways that you can make this Chromebook work better for your students, and everyone's different. So we want to make sure that they are using the features that will help promote inclusive learning for students with different needs and abilities. So we just want to make sure that all of that there is available for your students and give you a hint. Sometimes we get iSupport tickets or things that say, the color's all off, or somebody is talking and I don't know why they're talking. So we want to make sure that you know how to help your students if they have this on. So we are going to actually go live from the Chromebook. So Jamae is getting ready to take over the screen and go live to show us what is happening on the Chromebook.
Okay, I hope y'all can see my screen. I'm the Chromebook, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk you through some of the features and the accessibility feature area. So I have my Chromebook up, and if you look down, I have the time down here. When I click on the time, it populates all the things you could pretty much do. You may already see that the accessibility is up there, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go the long way. So I'm gonna go to the settings or the gear here. So I'm gonna click on the gear, and then over to the left, if you go all the way down, it says accessibility. And this is where you'll have your plethora of all the things, but we're just going to kind of show you some of the ones that are going to probably be used the most. So we want to make sure we share those things with you. At the top of the accessibility, I already had my thing toggled on so that if I go back, I could do the shortcut, which Ms. Coach James was saying. So that's how you would do that. I'm going to go down where it says text to speech. When I click on text to speech, you can see I have a couple options, and we're going to come and visit the select to speak. So I have it toggled on. So it's toggled off, and I'm going to toggle it back on. All right. And then I'm going to go back. And like I said, you're going to get this presentation, so you'll be able to see this as well. Another thing that we thought that was important was the keyboard and the text input. So I'm going to click on that little caret. And you can see now I have an option to have my on-screen keyboard. So remember we talked about flipping the Chromebook? Well, you could turn on the on-screen keyboard so that the kids could have that virtually as well. And then another feature we like is the dictation. Like sometimes it's nice to open up a Google Doc and just have whatever you're speaking to be populated right onto your Google Doc.
And we're going to show you all of these in just a minute. Coach Johnson here is just showing you where you can turn all those things on, and then we'll go a little bit more into depth about what each of these things do in just a minute.
Okay, and I'm trying to talk as slow as I can. So we just talked about the dictation part, but I think she saw in the chat about the language. So I could actually change the language here, and I want to see, did you see how my on-screen keyboard popped up. Well, it's kind of in the way, but if you go all the way down, there's a picture of a keyboard. If I click that, it'll collapse it. And then you could see all the different languages and select which one you want. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm just going to keep it in English because I have a hard time in English already. So anyway, so those are the things that we're going to turn on, and then I'm going to click back. And then if you notice over here, I think we're going to go ahead and talk about the cursor and the touchpad. I have old eyes, so I'm going to click on the caret here. And guess what I'm going to do? I am going to enlarge my cursor. So I have my cursor on. Ooh, that's much better. And, and also, ooh, I kind of don't want black. I'm kind of a color girl, so I'm going to turn it to pink. So I love color. So I'm going to turn mine to pink. And you can see how it changes from, my little pointer to my little cursor right there. So that looks good. I know that was quite a few that we just shared, but like, again, you could go in there and navigate and choose the ones that you want to personalize. So I think I kind of hit the most important ones that we're going to talk about right now, but that was the long way. Don't leave me. I'm going to X out, and then I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to the time. And when I click on the time, I'm going to go to that little shortcut that I was talking about. Once I click on the shortcut, you can see some of the things that I've already turned on, like this select to speak, the dictation, but look at some other things. Look at the color inversion.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that's really important because what it was telling me that if you have bad floaters, or if you wanted to, this is good to ease your eyes and from straining and stuff. So you may want to turn it on, but what's nice is that you can go right into the shortcut. You could turn it on, you could turn it off. Okay, so I really like that. I'm going to turn it off for now. And then what was the other one? The on-screen keyboard. I'm going to turn it off as well. But you could go right here with your little shortcuts. But if it's not on there, just remember that you could go back to the little gear, and then you could turn on all the other things that you would like to turn on.
Yeah, I think
did I miss anything?
No, I think you did great. I think that it's really good to have that accessibility right there by the time, because you never know, like accidentally, a lot of times accidentally students may click on something on mistake. They don't even know they did it, and now their Chromebook is not functioning the way that it should. So it's really, really good for our teachers to know how to help with that. And I saw that Michelle was mentioning that she wants to go back and share this with her teachers, because absolutely, this is something that can be really great for some students, but also sometimes accidentally you may need to help them with turning them off and on. So
I'm just going to mention too, just what Coach Haynes was saying. I don't know, some student accidentally had something turned on. So every time they clicked on something, it was talking and it was moving and it was driving them banana cake. So anyway, that's something that you could go into and check and make sure all the accessibility stuff's either turned on or turned off. So that's a good way to double check that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go a little bit more in depth into some of these different features that we talked about. So the select to speak, these are just the steps, because remember, you're going to have this presentation of how you actually turn that on. There is a shortcut to turn that on. That is just turning it on, but not actually it's enabling it. It's not making it happen. So to actually make it happen, what you're going to need to do is you would highlight your text, and then you press that magnifying search button plus the S. And we're going to show you just real quick a little video of what that looks like. So if this was our activity that we were doing with our students, and maybe they were having trouble reading it, maybe they needed a certain word, or maybe they wanted the whole thing read to them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this and let you see what it sounds like for students.
This year's summer was the Earth's hottest since global record keeping began in 1880. This year's summer was the Earth's hottest since global record keeping began in 1880.
Okay, so notice that it read, and there are different things that you can select that we just kind of kept very basic, but you have to highlight it and then do that search plus S in order to make it actually select to speak.
And I believe you can change the speed, and I think even the voice of that one too.
Yep.
Just to let you know.
Yeah, so in SciFair here, we're very, very lucky. We have some other tools that may do that as well. But remember, we're talking about things that are built directly into the Chromebook that we can use. So that's a really good one, select to speak. You also have dictation. And we decided that instead of trying to go live and switch our microphones, we just created this real quick video for you to show how dictation works. But basically, it's like voice typing. So if the students are having trouble with typing for any reason, dictation is a really great thing. So you would just have it enabled like Ms. Johnson showed you, and then we are going to use the search icon plus D to turn it on. So here's a little video to show you how.
The Google Dictation Accessibility is a great tool for students to do voice typing. Once the dictation is turned on under the accessibility setting, you will see a microphone. Once you're ready to begin, you will just simply click the microphone. This is a great way to have students say what they want just by simply talking, period. There are so many great commands that will help with this voice typing as well, period. For example, select all, cut, paste, cancel. Once you say the word cancel, this simply turns off the voice dictation. So we hope that you will get to use this tool with your students.
All right, so I'm going to stop that there. So as you saw, as Jamae was talking and showing all of that, she used some commands. So there is a whole list of different commands that you can use when you're using dictation. Now, these are intense, it's a lot, but find the ones that work for your students and it can help them. It can be even like delete certain things, all of that. So if you have students that are really struggling with that typing, dictation is a really, really great tool to be able to use. So we put all of that in there for you, the two different pages of lots of different things. Yeah. And I love some of these. Yes, comments. Yeah. Good job. Yes.
Just practice.
Christine Morgan is in there. She said that, yes, kids accidentally do things all the time. Okay. So yeah. Absolutely they do that. All right. So it is halftime. Okay. So here's your code. We're going to go ahead and leave it up on the screen for about a minute. Remember, you need to submit this code by midnight tomorrow. So if you watch this and you love it and you want to share with your friends, tell them they have until midnight tomorrow to watch and submit that credit for PD credit. We also, down at the very bottom, some of you have been asking, there is our presentation link. Now that the attendance code has been shared, we can go ahead and we can share that as well. So grab both of those things. We'll give you, like I said, about a minute to grab both of those things and jot them down.
Okay, and we'll look over at the chat as well.
Yep, and I'm checking the chat. It's been pretty good. I'm glad that people are seeing things that they like. Yay! And always good to see friendly faces in there. So very cool. There you go. I see that it's been shared in the chat as well. So if you need to grab that bit.ly for our presentation, you're welcome to grab it now. All right,
and pretty good game. Huh?
I was going to say, and I'm just going to say, like, this is supposed to end at 11:50, and it is 11:25. So I mean, I'm thinking that's pretty close to exactly halftime. So good job on that.
Yeah, we
totally did that on purpose. So, all right, I think that should be enough time. Again, the presentation link will be put into the chat for you to go ahead and grab that, and hopefully you had an opportunity to jot down that code. All right, so now we're going to move into what we consider our biggest part. So this is like the third quarter, but really it's going to be the third and fourth quarter because we have so much. We actually had to pull back on some of the things that we wanted to show you because we got so excited. As we got in here and started really playing with the Chromebook and seeing all the different things that you can do, I was blown away. So we're really excited to bring in some speed and those built-in features with our Chromebook. Woohoo! All right, so the first thing we're going to show you is the camera app. Now, this is, again, built into the Chromebook. When you click on that little launcher, you're going to see it. Jamae is going live right now so that she can show you from the Chromebook what it's going to look like. And there she is. She's live.
Okay. Hi, guys. We're back. All right. We've been talking about that little circle or that little launcher here. So I'm going to click on the little circle and I'm going to go to the camera app. So when I click on the camera app, I know I should really show myself. Danielle said we should show ourselves. And now you can see we have a green screen in the back. All right. But without further ado, also, when you get in the camera app, over to the left, you have a preview of a mirror preview. So when I click that, I could turn that off or on. Then underneath that, I kind of like this. It was the grid. I know some of you are like people that like to have grids or like to be in a certain spot. I could see people using the grid. Yeah, so I'm going to just go ahead and turn it off, but that's available to you. And then, of course, the timer. I like the timer when you're doing a quick photo or whatever, and you want to step back and make sure you're in there instead of going. So there is the timer. And then this is the switcheroo.
So that we don't want to, it's a mess back there. You do not want to see what's on the back part of our camera right now, but I'm just being a good friend and supporting her so that she doesn't have to be on camera by herself the whole time.
I know, Coach Haynes, I love it. And then underneath us, you can see that it's already defaulted to the photo. So if I wanted to do a quick photo of Miss Haynes and I, you can do that. And then also to the right is a scan, and we're going to actually try to do that as well.
Okay,
do you want to do the video first?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to show the video. But you can see, this is what I like. The reason why I selected video, because if you look up there, there's one for a gift.
Oh,
you ready
my favorite.
for this?
Yes, I'm
so
ready.
We're going to try a little gift. Okay, so I selected the gift, and over to the right, you see how the record button just came on, and now we're going to do a gift. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I can stop it, and then look at us.
There we are.
Woohoo! Think about this.
Yeah.
You see some educational purposes for this?
I do.
Okay, then here are options. We can save or we can share. So we're gonna save it, right? We're gonna save it, and then look down here at the button. It gives us a thumbnail of what we just had done. So I'm gonna click that, and then you're gonna go, oh my goodness, where'd it go? I am gonna click over to the right with the 3 buttons, and I am gonna go to save. And then once I save, you can see it's right here under our camera app, right? All right, so just be cognizant of where you're saving it to. It's going to be there, but sometimes we were going back and forth. We're like, where is it? And it's either going to be under your files, and I'll show you in the launcher, or it's going to be in your Google Drive or under that particular app.
Very cool.
All right, so I said I was going to share the scan. I'm going to share the scan with you. I selected the scan. Okay. Kids have homework sometimes, right? You see how the little thing, I'm going to let Danielle actually scan the document for me since I'm holding it up. And it should only take the part that I had in between the little brackets. And then I could save it as a PDF, or I could save it as a photo. And then the kids could upload it to Schoology.
Yep.
All right. So, oops.
It's okay. You're just showing them how to reopen that camera app.
I know, right? So that was really quick. And then another use for the scan is, look what we have here.
We get this all the time.
Look
I
at
have a
this.
QR code, and I want the
Okay.
kids to be able to see it.
All right. And I did this the other day. And
Is it
you
on
can
QR
see,
code?
oh, yeah. Sorry. She's going to make sure it's on
There you
here.
go.
Hello, Johnson. Okay. So once you see that, you see the
It's
link
up
at
there
the top. No, it's up. Yeah, it's up at the top. So she's going to click that, and it's going to go to the website that I deemed safe, and I've already previewed.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So isn't that cool? We don't know if you had a chance to use some of these features, but my goodness, this is really good to use with the kiddos. So we wanted to share those parts of the camera app. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. And I mean, I can see a ton of ways. I would love some of you in the chat to tell us some ways that you could see using this in your classroom. I mean, I think even just the ability to scan a QR code without having to go to a different website or anything is super cool. And who doesn't love making GIFs? I mean, how cool to do an assignment where they're creating a GIF. Maybe they're showing something. Maybe they're showing a content or a standard that you're working on. And it could be a really great, easy activity. They create it and then they can upload it directly right into Schoology. So, okay. So are you going to show the screen recording live, or do you want me just to share it?
Okay. Let me go back in. We still are in, I'm still sharing.
You're still sharing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I am going to go to that. Sorry.
So it's okay. I'll show it on here. And then if we decide that we want to, we can go ahead and share it there. So if you want to do the screen recording, just like the camera app, You can screen record by using Shift, Control, and then that Windows changer up at the top in that little functions bar. This allows them to truly record their screen. Okay, so
we're just trying to make sure I'm sharing because
I'm
was going to
sharing
go
right
live.
now.
Okay.
No, I'm sharing right
Oh,
now.
no problem. I'm going to go ahead. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so we'll just leave it like that, but just know that you can do that and it works in the same way. And then it does save right into your Google Drive, depending on where you want to save it. So you can actually set up where you want to save it when you are live inside of the screen recording document.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so that is screen recording. We also wanted to show you there are a couple of tools that we have recently discovered that are built into Chrome. So these are two things. First one is called Google Cursive, and you can access it just online at cursive.apps.chrome. And basically what it does is allow students to capture, edit, and organize their handwritten notes. Okay, if you have a stylus and a touchscreen Chromebook, it is fantastic for that. And so you can actually handwrite things and create notes. But the thing I love the most about it, and those of you that know me pretty well know that I am pretty strong on Google, but I know that there are certain things Microsoft does amazing. And one of them is OneNote. Okay, and so it was always a thing like, you know, oh, well, I have to use OneNote because I want to create notebooks. Well, now in Cursive, I can actually do it right there as well. So inside of this cursive.apps.chrome, I could actually create new notebooks. I can give them different colors. I can name them. And then inside of each notebook, I would just click in and then create my notes. And I can use my handwritten notes to do that. There are also a ton of different ways that you can like move whole lines down and move things over. So check that out when you get a chance. It's cursive.apps.chrome. And then the other one that is always fun is our Google Canvas app. So this is canvas.apps.chrome. Some of you as a teacher, you may see it in your launcher if you're logged into a Chromebook. Students may see it as well. It may not be there just yet. We're working on getting it added, but this is a way that you can create drawings and sketches using different tools and different mediums. So as you can see there on the left, you can change your color. You can choose the thickness of the tool that you're using. You have pencils or pens. You also have chalk and an eraser. And the thing that's really neat is that you can actually layer on top. So as you're working, like if you're using the chalk and you kind of keep going over one spot, it's just like if you were doing that using chalk on a sidewalk. The harder and the longer you go over a certain area, the darker it's going to show on the screen. So the potential for this I see is endless. You can also even add in an image. So if a teacher wanted to like give an image of, say, the plants and you wanted to highlight or you wanted to kind of like color in certain parts of the plant, this can all be set up. So the teacher would have to share that image with the students and they would have to bring it in. This is a new tool. They're just kind of building it. So it's not set up to like create assignments or anything like that. But I still think it's a really, really great tool to share with you for students to have the ability to create. I know sketchnotings too has been a big thing that we've heard a lot, that students are looking to sketchnote. I actually think the other 11 o'clock session is maybe talking about sketchnoting, but this tool is great for it. And then it saves it as an image and you can choose to save it to your Google Drive. And if you are signed in, then it'll allow it to transfer between your different devices. So check out Google Canvas. One of us might be an artist. One of us might be, and made that really cool Travis Kelce player. You know, I'm slightly obsessed with that whole storyline. So we thought we would use him as our little model. So again, check that out, canvas.apps.chrome. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Maybe you should take this one, Coach Johnson.
For you.
But yeah.
Well, we do have the Promethean screen share app. Those of us in Site Fair, we have Promethean panels. So one of the apps is actually the Promethean share app for the students. And it's an extension that's already installed in CFISD. So then once the kids get in there, it's a great way for the students to be able to, without plugging something in, to share their projects to the class or wherever they would like to share it to. So,
Yes.
and there's up to 4 students could share at a time. So we really like this app in that regard. So, did you want to add to that? Because I know you had shared some other stuff.
Well, yeah, no.
earlier.
So again, here in Sci-Fair, we have Promethean panels in every classroom, or we're getting there. We have a version of a Promethean panel in every classroom, but we are getting to the point where everyone is having an active panel 7 or an active panel 9, and those will allow for this screen share. So like Coach Johnson said, the screen share, you can have 4 Chromebooks shared up to the panel at one time. So what a great way for students to be able to showcase their work if they have a presentation and they don't have to come up, connect the HDMI, figure out how we're doing it, or sign into the board over the teacher. They can just stay right at their seat and they can share it directly from there. So let me show you how you do that. Again, if you're in Sci-Fair and you have a panel, this is how you would do it. The teacher would go and they would push the screen share app on their panel, and a screen would pop up that shows a number. The students would then click the extension on their Chromebook and they would see this screen here. They would type in the panel ID that's showing on the Promethean panel, and then they would type in their name. Once they do that, they would continue and click share. The really cool thing though is that the teacher still has total control. So students can't just take over the screen whenever they want. They would the teacher would have to select it. So it would show this many people want to share using the screen share app, and then they could choose which ones they want to share at that time. So they would just click a box and click share, and then it would show. And then they can stop the sharing from the panel at any time. So it's a really, really great tool. If you have Promethean panels in your classroom and Chromebooks like we do here in Sci-Fair, it's a really, really great tool to use. So we just wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
And they love it because once they see their screen up there, they get excited, and then they could be part of the collaboration, the participation in the classroom. Because if 2 kids are showing something and you're doing a comparison thing, it's a great way to have both of their screens up at the same time.
100%. Okay, and we just wanted to remind you, because it's a Chromebook, it's based from Google, but you do have access to the entire Google Workspace. So you have the ability to create documents, sheets, forms, slides, drawings. You also have access to everything Microsoft as well, right? We could access through OneDrive, Microsoft 360 as well. But because we are in Google and Chromebook right now, we want to show you something that we think you're really, really going to love. And that is
okay, we're gonna remember we talked a little bit about the copy and pasting. Well, we're going to actually demonstrate it inside of our Chromebook so that you can see that. This is something I'm kind of sad about because I can't do it on my laptop, Miss Coach James. So here we go. I'm going to go to this document, and hopefully you can see my document here.
We are seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's pretend. So I'm your teacher, and I'm going to give you an assignment, right? So
Yes.
I'm giving you an assignment to write me you are a language arts person. What kind of story would I be writing?
Either descriptive or something about a famous person. And I need to make sure that I have maybe some images, some content, something to say about that famous person.
Right. And a lot of times when you're going through the writing process, of course,
and
you want to research, gather your information, put it into some sort of an organizer or some sort of document. So it looks like that's what you've already done, because you are the best student and you are already way ahead of the game.
Yes. And now I want to take some of these images and take some of this text and put it into some kind of a presentation form. So I think I know my favorite person here. And the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and hopefully you can see my screen. I'm going to select some of the images. So remember, we talked about Control C. I want that image. Maybe I want this image, Control C. I'm not doing anything except selecting things. And then I'm going to go a little further down. Oh, I need some text. So now I'm going to just.
I like that last part. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to Control C again. You saw that I highlighted it. And then I'm going to, she likes this last part.
I think that.
So I'm going to, I really like that when I found out the fact about that one. So I'm going to go Control C. Woo. That was a lot of work.
You copied a lot of stuff. And you know what? My heart right now, I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, you just copied all this stuff and you didn't put it anywhere. So what was the point of you copying, but you never pasted it anywhere?
Oh, okay. Here's my little trick. I'm going to pull up my slide, my little presentation. Here we go. The teacher mentioned we need an image and some text and so forth, right?
Right.
So now I'm on my first slide. And remember, all I did was just copy. So then I'm going to do the magic right here. I'm going to go to my, remember you were saying that little search thing. And then I'm going to select the letter V. Oh my goodness. I hope
all of your stuff is there.
It loaded it onto my cursor.
So even though you copied, how many things did you copy?
I think about five.
Five different things are showing there. So instead of having to go back and forth between her tabs, she was able to do that all at one time.
And it loaded it. So let's see, I might want this picture there. Oh, look, it just posted it right on my slide. I'm going to go back. I'm doing the same, the little, what do you call it?
The search
and the V.
Search plus V will bring up the last 5 things that you have copied. And so that allows her to pick and choose. So she can even see the pictures that are there and choose the one that she likes or her text.
Yeah, and now I'm going to add a little text to that. And look how fast and easy that was to go ahead and add the text there, right there. And then I could go to my next slide and I could do that again. I'm going to do the there
it is.
I know. And then I'm going to go ahead and should I go ahead and add this one? Yes, I'm going to go ahead and add this image. Whoops. And you do it the same when you're sizing it or whatever.
I think maybe your cursor's so big that you can't tell where things are happening.
I love my cursor.
She likes the big cursor.
So I'm going to do my search V again, plus V, and then I'm going to add one more text.
Add the one at the top. It's my favorite.
I know, but did you notice I didn't go in order?
I did notice that. Yes, I did. But again, how cool is that for kids? So like if they've created a graphic organizer, gotten all their information in one place, instead of having to keep toggling back and forth, everything is right there. So they grab all that information. It would be real quick and easy for them to create that. Now, I love this. Can I do that on my Windows machine?
No, ma'am. I tried it and it made my heart hurt, but this will be great for the kids. And remember, we're talking about being productive, doing things fast and doing things that, you know, that works right on the Chromebook.
Exactly.
I love this.
Well, I mean, I think that's a huge bonus to the Chromebooks because right now I can't do that on my Windows machine. Maybe it's coming. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that's really cool that you were able to go in and do that all at one time. So thank you for showing that to me.
You're welcome.
And I really like your presentation. I can't wait to see the rest of it. All right, before you stop going live, because you're still live right now, we did have a question in our chat about how to enable a microphone. So inside of like the screen recording or something, if you need to enable a microphone, I'm not sure exactly when they want to do it, but do you think you could show them how to enable a microphone?
It just depends on what app they're probably using too. And so I believe, and I'm going to kind of punt right now because I'm trying to figure out, like, if I go to the accessibility and I believe, let me see, and I feel bad that I just didn't have it at the top of the thing, but I think in the app, I know,
that's something.
Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I mean, I know that when we were in like the screen recording app, there's a place over on the side where she actually had to turn on her microphone. So if that's the part that you are talking about, there is a place to do that inside of there, but it looks like she might have found it.
Well, this is just the device itself, and it says, because sometimes some kids use the earbuds and whatnot, but over in the device part, it shows that there's the microphone that's internal, which is part of the Chromebook that's turned on. And if I had something else, you know, plugged in, it would give me toggle between the two. And then of course the volume here, but right here, I know that I don't have my volume on. And so because we don't want to have, you know, feedback. So I turned it off right now. So it's muted, but if I turn it back on, which I'm not, then I could make sure it's there. So it may be the app that you have to turn on that particular microphone for. So if you can probably name the app, I will definitely research it for you because that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that happens because we, in the primary, we do a program called Amira, and there's a thing that has to be enabled so that the kids could hear the teacher speaking and the kids could follow along. So that was a great question.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll happen, like it'll pop up at the top of your screen where you have to allow it. And so if the kids don't allow it at that time, then that could be a problem as well.
And also like Coach Hames was saying, open over in the browser right at the top where I'm pointing to, there might be where it says it's blocking, and you could just enable the sound too there. So I know those were a couple things that we were asked at one time.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
I hope
So
that helped.
I think that did help. So if you can go ahead and stop sharing your screen just for a second, and then, you know, eventually I guess we'll get back into showing our last couple parts here, because we have 3 minutes. So I think we did pretty good, because we were worried we weren't going to get done, but I don't know. I mean, are you done?
It looks good. I guess I'm ready to go.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go. Were we done?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. All right. See you guys.
Wait, what are you doing?
What? I'm just closing my Chromebook.
You can't foul on the field. You cannot just close your Chromebook.
I got a flag.
You got a flag. You got flagged 100% because
I gotta go, Danielle. It's 12 o'clock.
I know, but the problem is if you just close that Chromebook, bad things happen. You want to make sure that you shut down your Chromebook. When it's the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are actually going to do that. So go ahead and stop sharing your screen, Jamae. And we are going to share that screen, and we are going to share with you some of our tips and tricks.
Oh man.
So powering down is super important. So you really can just go ahead and power down to do that. And this is how you're going to do that. You can always hold what we call a hard shut off, which is shutting off over on the right side. You just kind of hold that down, and that's there. But you can also go to the top underneath of that time where she went before to show you the accessibility, and you are going to have to turn it off. Use that little button up there that looks like a little circle with a line, and you're going to do that. Okay, so please do that. Here are the reasons why you want to do that. Number one is your battery. Okay, these need to last us all day long. And so we want to make sure that we conserve that battery life. And the more you shut it down and give it a chance to just totally be off, the longer it's going to last.
Oh, and I guess the reason why you might want to do that too is sometimes there's some updates that the district pushes out. And so we need to make sure all those patches and all those software updates happen during a shutdown.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that you power down so that you can get any updates that need to come from Google or from our district.
Okay.
And then of course it protects your data and your privacy, especially if you are on a shared network or somebody else is around you. If you just close it, someone might be able to open it, and then, you know, you would just have to put your password back in. But it's really, really good to totally shut down and disconnect from any network that you're on between home and school. A lot of times it gets confused, and you want to make sure that you're giving it an opportunity to do that.
All righty. And sometimes I notice too, sometimes that things freezes on when I'm in my Chromebook. So maybe that'll help me get a fresh start so that I'm not running glitches and things aren't running in the background, right?
Right, exactly. It's always a good troubleshooting thing. Whenever you're having trouble, it's just shut down. We always say shut down all the way to black screen, and sometimes that will help. The other thing we want to share with you is that these Chromebooks, we are one-to-one in the classroom. So we want to make sure that we are providing that digital citizenship training for your students. So we gave you a couple of little videos and things that you can utilize for that, but make sure you're sharing with them. These are like their textbooks.
Yes.
So anything that they wouldn't do in person, they should not do on the Chromebook. So just make sure that we're sharing those things with our students, because it's really important for them to realize how important it is in this world to be a good digital citizen. All right, so this is our end. Thank you so much. That's all we can say for putting up with us. We know that sometimes we can be kind of silly, but we just like to have fun, and so do kids. So in the classroom, these Chromebooks are a really, really great way for them to be able to create and do some awesome stuff. So our presentation link is down there again. I know it's already been shared in the chat as well. And then we just want to share with you some things coming up.
Yeah, we have some things coming up in February. We have another EdTech Live. So we hope that you could come join us in February, on February the 24th. So go ahead and save the date. And then we're going to have our in-person Student EdTech Expo on April the 11th. So that means that all the kids will be able to showcase all the things. They're probably going to use their Chromebook. So go ahead and get started with some great projects using the Chromebooks with the kiddos. So that date is April the 11th.
All right. And then in the summer of 2024, it's crazy to even think about that already, but DLC is happening again. It's our virtual conference. We had over, I think, 5,000 people join us last year. So it's become a really great event for our department. But that's going to be a little later this year. So we wanted to make sure that you had saved the date early enough. So it's July 31st and August 1st. It's a 2-day conference opportunity for PD credit. So thank y'all so much for joining us today. We hope that you have a great rest of your day on Saturday. And we hope that you've enjoyed EdTech Live today. And this is our last session. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Go watch some football somewhere.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.